keep going live and start being consistent, okay? That's the only way you're going to be able to do it is if you're consistent. So consistently going live like every Tuesday night at 7 or whatever. So that way people know, oh, okay, Tiffany's going to be live at Tuesday night on 7s, and that's the time she talks about recovery. That's what I did, and I just kept going live and kept going live and kept going live. That's what you got to do. Consistency is key.
Drug screens for the recovery community. And our dream now is to open a rehab here locally where we live, because he's went to enough of them to know what not to do, because whatever, we're not ran properly.
Yeah.
It's thrift stores that are making you do slave labor and just like coffee out of the Bible or something. And so now that's our dream, and we're in the process of trying to make that happen. It may be in years down the road. I'm trying to get my
your peer support specialist certification.
Yes, that's what I'm in the process of applying for all of that now, and I'm just doing it one day at a time. But I know that I'll be spared from that overdose so that I can.
Damn, you hear that, y'all? She's a miracle. That God pulled you out of that. And that's, if you don't believe in God, y'all, that's okay. But there's something up there. There's something up there that's watching over us. I truly believe that. It may not, you can call it whatever you want to, but there's something out there that's got there. Something's out there keeping us safe,
Yes, and keeping us breathing.
I love you, girl. Y'all go subscribe to Tiffany and follow her now, okay?
I love you.
You're welcome. I'm going to get my skincare done now, okay?
Get it, girl.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay, y'all. Come on over to Discovering Nicole. We're going to do a skincare routine. Come on. Let's go. I'm going to go on my other account. Okay. Hey, guys. Skincare time. I know y'all are probably like, bitch, how many accounts are you going to use tonight? Well, we're making sure that I go live on both of them so everybody gets some attention, okay?
I'll go get it. Yeah, Nate.
So come on in. Y'all ready to do some skincare? Okay, the first thing I'm going to use is my Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing balm, and this is like an oil. It's super gentle and it takes off the mascara really, really good, especially if you have waterproof mascara. So come on in. We're also going to do a mask tonight on my face, my AHA BHA mask. So you guys come on in and I'll show you guys that, and we'll chit chat about recovery. If you're struggling with anything, let me know, drop it in the comments, and I'll do my best to suggest some support or help you out, whatever you need, okay? Okay, go ahead, Donna. What's the question? Tell us, girl. Any questions or anything you have that you're struggling with that you would like my suggestion or opinion on, drop it in the comments, honey. Okay, now I'm going to wipe my face down with some water in a washcloth. Okay. And then we're using up my last bit of my Murad AHA BHA cleanser. This is my favorite cleanser, but I got a new one, which is the Tarte Knockout Cleanser. It's also an AHA BHA, but it doesn't have the little micro beads that this one has in it. I really like this one, but I think I'll like the other one too. We'll see. I used to be addicted to Xanax, but I struggle with anxiety and panic attacks. Okay. This is a touchy one. This is a hard one. What is my opinion on you getting back on? Okay, if I were you, I would try everything you can to try before getting back on a benzo, okay? Because I'll tell you that me and Dr. B, we see hundreds of people who are struggling with benzo addiction or struggling with benzo dependence, okay? They're not even addicted. And they're trying to come off, and they're just really struggling. So what I would do if I was you is I would talk to your doctor about some non-narcotic. First, just try them, okay? I know that my friend Diana got on Buse Bar, and it really helped her with her anxiety, okay? Hey, Sarah, what's up, girl? Donna, try that first before you try Klonopin, okay? Just to be safe. Not even because of your addiction, just because it's just been, I see so many people who are getting cut off their meds, doctors that are not wanting to prescribe it anymore, and I would just hate to see you get in a situation where you were on Klonopin and then your doctor didn't want to prescribe it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. You know, if you were able to take Klonopin as prescribed, and that will help you, and if you think that's the only way you're going to be able to get relief, I 100% support you. If you decide to go on Klonopin, I would make sure that you give your medication to your husband or somebody you trust that can dose you with it every day, so that way you're not taking it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just be on the safe side. What's up, Sarah? What you want to talk about, girl? You can ask me any questions you want to ask. If you're struggling with something, drop it in the comments. I'll help you out. So COVID, when it started in 2020, I started doing live streams 7 days a week on my YouTube channel. And that's how we got through COVID. We got through COVID by me going, 7 days a week I was going live, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And I would have 50 to 100 people in a live stream, all of us talking about recovery. It's pretty awesome. Then when I came to TikTok, which was about October of 2020, then I started going live over here. And I just love going live on TikTok because I can meet so many people because TikTok pushes, our lives out. Okay, let me see. Always. What you saying, Amy? Amy, I didn't see your first comment, baby. It didn't come up. Did your ex go to treatment? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, now we got to do our mask, you guys. Oh, yeah, girl. There's a lot of recovery content creators on here. There's some really good ones, and then there's some that are really not good. There's some people on here that they put up a good front, but they're not really who they say they are. So be careful. Okay, don't get taken advantage of. That's what I always tell everybody. Don't give people your money, that kind of thing. No, I don't get paid for lives. Like right now, I'll show you my creator fund. I just joined the creator fund. And you'll see, I make like 20 cents a day. It's ridiculous. Unless you're going like super viral and getting millions of views a day, like you don't make nothing. I need a total knee replacement. It's hard to walk. I'm addicted to opiates. Any just suggestions for pain relief? Honestly, you could always, you can always do changing back and forth ibuprofen and Tylenol, but that's probably not going to work if you had an opiate addiction. There is, methadone. That would help with your pain. Or then there's also something called Kratom. Now, I've never taken Kratom, so I can't really share with you much about it. But I know a lot of people who use it, and it has helped them tremendously with their pain. I like to be under doctor's care, so that's why I haven't tried Kratom. Because I would rather have a doctor prescribing it to me, you know what I'm saying? And Kratom is like an herb that you eat, or you can take it in a pill. What is the naltrexone he's on? Oh, is he on Vivitrol? I did physical therapy for a while for pain. That's all they would do for me. Yeah, I had a pill in my pocket 4 weeks ago. I put it back. I've been clean since. Good job, Rachel. Yeah, I just joined it recently. Hey, Pinky, what's up, girl? I just joined it recently, and I said, you know what? TikTok is stunting my views anyway, so I'm just going to join it and see what happens. And I'll tell you this. So far, I feel like my views have been the same, so I'm going to stay in it. Yeah, and that's why I can't take kratom, because I can't trust myself to dose. Like, it's too much freedom for me. I'd rather be prescribed a medication from the doctor, so that way it just helps me feel safer. You know what I'm saying? No offense to anybody that's on kratom. But I always say, if you got to just try things, you guys, whatever, you got to try different things and find what works out best for you. I used to be against Suboxone, you know what I mean? And then I went to treatment, came out, and my husband was on it, and I was struggling with, wanting to use. And so I got on it, and it ended up saving my life. So, you know what I mean? Hey, April, what's up, girl? I also, only like to share with you guys things that I have experience with, So I can share with you guys. I know that methadone helps with pain. Like, I 100% know it. Now, a lot of people, say that Suboxone helps with their pain, but Suboxone's not indicated for pain. So I would try methadone before I tried Suboxone for pain. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you. And that way, since you said you had an opiate addiction, that might help you with your opiate addiction too. So, back to what we were talking about. Anybody else got any questions, comments, or concerns? Yeah, that's what I was saying, Alicia. I said some people say it helps with their pain, but it's not indicated for pain. And the reason why it doesn't help is because it's a partial opioid agonist. So it's not providing that euphoria, okay? So like methadone is a full agonist. So when you take it, if you are like not on a stable dose, you'll get that euphoric feeling. You know what I'm saying? Suboxone don't have that. And after you've been on Suboxone for a really long time, it's just like you feel bleh. And that's what's happened to me. I've been on Suboxone for so long that I've started to feel like I'm dead inside. You know what I mean? But I would never, Suboxone helped save my life. I'm a polysubstance abuser. I was addicted to smoking crack, shooting coke, shooting meth, eating benzo pills. But when I tell you guys, my second love was benzodiazepines. I had to have me some Xanax bars every single time I got high. How do you get off Klonopin? So I'm not a doctor, but I do work with a doctor who specializes in benzo dependency and helping people get off benzos. So if you want to reach out to me later on, I can help you get, if you are in the state of California, I can help you get an appointment with Dr. B. Yeah, that's the ordinary AHA BHA pill. That's what I have on my face. Hey, Lily, how you doing, honey? That is definitely what I have on my face. But the best thing to do is to talk to your doctor about coming off of benzos, because you can die coming off of benzos. It's no joke. It's not something to just play around with. But, I mean, with anything, you have to taper, you guys. You have to taper low and slow to get off of it. And I'll tell you this. I do know that there is a great taper thing you can look up online called the Ashton Manual. If you want to take a look at it, you can type in Ashton Method or Ashton Manual, and it'll hit the Ashton Manual taper plan. And then there's also a forum called Benzo Buddies. If y'all have never been to Benzo Buddies, it's literally a forum for people that are on benzos and trying to get off. because a lot of the people that have been coming to Dr. B are in protracted withdrawal. So they're on the medication, but they're experiencing withdrawal while on the benzo. It's not hard at all if you do it correctly. When I screwed up in my sub taper, my sub jump, was I got down to 0.25 and I did benzo buddies, and it's called the Ashton Manual. I got down to 0.25 and Ray, and I only stayed at 0.25 for a week. Then I jumped completely off. What I should have done was stayed on 0.25 for about 30 days and then jumped off of the 0.25. So I kind of rushed at the end. Now, I did go through physical withdrawal, but I'll tell you this, okay? The physical withdrawal wasn't that bad. I had really bad diarrhea, really bad restless legs, but it was manageable. I wasn't sleeping at night, so that was hard. But it's you can do it. If you taper, you can do it. I truly believe it. Come on in, y'all. I'm just putting up East First. I'm just typing in this girl's address. First Street. Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. I want to help you guys as much as I can. You know, I just want to be honest with y'all and tell you guys, like, I'm not a doctor or a therapist or a counselor, and I've never claimed to be any of those things. And I just want you guys to know that I'm not a doctor, or therapist, or a counselor. You were talking to your doctor. What did we talk? Oh, about tapering off of Suboxone or benzos. Yeah, if I had just stayed on a little bit longer, I probably would have been successful with my taper. But what happened is I jumped off, and I stayed off for 10 days, you guys. I had been off of them. And the depression and the anxiety was too much for me, and I got back on. Oh, subs? Okay. What is my illness? I'm a recovering drug addict. I'm damn proud of you, sis. Hey! Is it really? Yeah, Dr. B's office is on East 4th Street. So that's crazy. I just want to share my story and help other people not feel so alone. You know what I mean? And that's where I screwed up at. I screwed up at the point where I started to feel overwhelming sense of depression and anxiety. And it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't know if you guys have noticed yet, but I'm really, really emotional. And I'm already so emotional. No, Dr. B's not my doctor, baby. I'm already so emotional that it's like I struggle really bad. You know what I mean? A lot of people think Dr. B's my doctor, and he's not. He could be if I wanted him to be, but he's not. And yeah, he knows. He offered to help me out with it, but I was, I rushed off and did my own way. And here's the thing, like, I'm really emotional, and a lot of people don't understand, like, even more so when I'm sober and I'm super emotional, but I'm even more emotional coming off of a medication, that's where I screw up, is I get super emotional, and it's hard for me, y'all. It's hard for me. But I'll tell you this, you guys can do it. I messed up because I rushed at the end, but you can do anything you put your mind to. Truly believe that. Like I said, the physical part of the withdrawal, piece of cake. I'm a beast. I can have diarrhea. I can have sleepless nights. I can have restless legs. I can have cramps in my stomach and sweating and throwing up and shivering. I can handle that. It's when my mind starts fucking with me that I can't handle. You know what I'm saying? I'm already, like I said, super emotional. And so having that go on, it was just too much. I couldn't handle it. Could not handle it. And what makes it harder too was being honest about that and coming online and sharing with people where I'm struggling, and getting comments that were just so shitty. You know, my video sharing that I was trying to come off Suboxone got over 200,000 views. And so it was hard, man. It was hard getting a lot of judgment. It was hard having a lot of people who were people that hate me, making fun of me, taking my videos and posting them in private groups and making fun of me, like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's almost like you think they would want me to relapse and die, you know? That's how some of these people are on this app are. They're fucking horrible. They're fucking horrible. And there's never any reason to do shit like that to people. But you know how it goes. I'll probably try again in the summertime when it gets a little bit warmer outside, because I have, like, my mental health is a lot better when the sun is out. But you know what, you guys? I'm going to tell you this straight up, all right? Yeah, this is the AHA, BHA. We're doing a pill right now. I might stay on Suboxone for the rest of my life. I might decide not to get off of it. And what if I don't get off of it? And that's what I feel like a lot of people, like, please select, okay. A lot of people, you know, they judge us so much for being on subs, and it's almost like they don't support your recovery until you come completely off Suboxone. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of that, dude. I'm tired of that. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that people, you know, judge us being on subs. It's just like being on a mental health medication, you guys. It's just like being on a mental health medication. And that's what I don't understand, how people can't see that. Like, it's literally the same thing as being on a, where's the damn Cal Optima button? This is pissing me off. Hold on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what's so hard for people to understand that it's just like having a mental health medication. Just like it. There we are, Cal Optima. Woo-hoo. You know, like, would you come and ask somebody, are you on any medication? You're like, no, you wouldn't. You know? Yeah, it burns when you first start this pill. If your face isn't used to it, it does burn. Amy, you did? How much did it cost? Let me know how much it costed, because I want to, just so that way when I send other people. Which site did you do, baby? CATO1. How much did it cost, Amy? I want to know. I'm not trying to be, because I want to know, because do you know how many people I send to that fucking website every single day? They need to pay me. That website needs to pay me. They need to sponsor me. So, my dad, he's now 90 days clean from alcohol. Hell yeah, Stephanie, tell him I said congratulations. That's amazing. That's fucking amazing, dude. For real. Okay, let me call this girl and get her. So just so y'all know, what Amy's talking about is the other day her doctor kicked her off her Suboxone. Just kicked her off the program. And she had messaged me because she was like, I need to get my medication, and then he just kicked me off. And so I hooked her up with a telehealth doctor, which there's, hey girl, are you ready for your appointment? Okay, let me look on this, on here and see. Can I schedule you for, can you come in on Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday at 2:20. Is that okay? just come into the office with your ID, your insurance card, and yourself, and you'll need to go pee-pee because we need to, we always have to give you a drug screen. And, just be ready to talk to Alexis. That's our PA. She'll take good care of you. No, as far as I know, it's all taken care of because you have Cal Optima Direct. I've never seen anybody get charged that has Cal Optima Direct. Yeah, because you're a network. But whenever you sit down with the girls at the front desk, talk to them about getting you changed over to Monarch, okay? I'll text it to you so you don't forget. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They can, and we can let them know that we take Cal Optima Direct if they want to call. But we take Cal Optima Direct, and then what we do, because we have a contract with Monarch, we're in network. We take your Cal Optima the first time, but then we want you to get transitioned over to Monarch, so that way, because Monarch is who we're in contract with. But we'll take your Cal Optima for your first appointment, and then we'll help you get switched over to Monarch. And you're living in Santa Ana, so that's fine. Monarch is Santa Ana Medi-Cal. Yeah. Right. Okay? Girl, listen to me. You just tell them Nicole says you ain't got to pay nothing, and they will not give you no problems, okay? All right? And you just text me if you need anything. Okay? 2:20 on Wednesday. We'll see you when you get there. Bye. Sorry about that. Yeah, GoodRx is amazing. How much did it cost you? It's $100 cheaper, Amy? Was 80 for 2 weeks. I could have done a month for 125. That's all? That's amazing. That is such a good price. I did not know it was that cheap. Some people, when they call and they need an appointment, they're afraid because they can't afford it, or, anyways, I just make sure they get taken care of. So, we want them to be able to stay sober. And so if she can get herself switched over to Monarch, no problems. Just come on in. We'll get you taken care of. Well, no problem. I love doing what I do. I love helping people. Oh, crap. Did I put her for Tuesday? Shitballs. I meant to put her for Wednesday. No, I did put her for Wednesday. Who did I put for Tuesday? Oh, that was a different person. Sorry. I was like, holy shit, did I tell her the wrong day? Let's see. I need to call. I know what it's like whenever you're trying to come off opiates and get onto Suboxone, and you're calling up to a doctor's office, and the first person you talk to is like, that's not how I am. I'm like, hey girl, what's up? Tell me all about your life. Oh, let's get this. I'm going to help you get sober. You know what I mean? So I love helping people. It's literally makes my day to do it. It makes my day. But I do need to make this little girl's day and make sure that she has her 145, because her little hind end. See, we have the opportunity to pay for your first visit because we have a Harm Reduction Institute, and we can pay through that. But sometimes, things come into play. But we always try to help out as many people we can. Do I work for Sober Living? No, I work for a doctor's office. It's a medication-assisted treatment doctor's office. Oh, you work for CVS? Oh my God, Maddie, tell me this, okay? We have the hardest time with CVS. Okay, I'm going to tell you, since you work for them, maybe you can get something done. Okay. I don't know what it is about them, but I don't know if it's the people at the front desk that they're just biased or something, or they don't like Suboxone, or they know it's for drug addiction. But out there in California, honey, they be making. I get more calls from patients who are at the CVS, and the CVS will not give them their medication. We'll tell them that they're out of it. We'll tell them that they need blah, blah, blah. And then I will call them. And then they give them the medication. Like one girl, she's like my really good friend. Y'all know her, Diana. She always comes on and chit-chats with us. She was up there in full-fledged withdrawal from pills, from fentanyl pills. And they would not give her medication. Literally, they called a security guard to sit beside her. So she calls me up, and I call them, and then her medication magically appeared. It's crazy, dude. I promise you. I think it's because a lot of people, in California, it's a big city, big state. I think they're just upset because a lot of people come through there, that are on subs. And a lot of these pharmacists, I don't know if you guys, do y'all watch a lot of TikTok? Do you know that one pharmacist on TikTok? I know y'all know who I'm talking about. She actually made a video about it, saying that as a pharmacist, she can fill your prescription or not fill your prescription at her discretion. And I think that is BS. I know they're not out of it, girl. Yes, you know who I'm talking about, Maddie. I know they're not out of it because Suboxone is literally prescribed to hundreds and thousands of people. But that's what they'll say. Or they'll say, some weird thing like, we just sold out. No, you didn't. I know that, I'm sure it's true in situations where maybe somebody's coming in and they are like really, really fucked up and you can tell by looking at the person, right? But like, I don't think it's right when somebody is on a pain medication and the pharmacist sees that they're on a pain medication and literally just decides to say, why are you on this medication? How long have you, it's none of your business. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have been having problems. I'm not trying to say you, Maddie. I mean, I'm not trying to say that you've done this, but can you imagine just going to your pharmacy and then your pharmacist having the capabilities of basically not giving you your medication? You know what I'm saying? Just because they don't want to give it to you, or they don't like you, or they see that you're prescribed a benzo and an opiate. That's another thing that I've seen a lot. Somebody that's prescribed a benzo and an opiate. We get that all the time with our patients that are prescribed Suboxone and Klonopin. They won't want to give them the Klonopin prescription. And that's not first of all, that is not for them to decide. That's why the doctor prescribes it. It's crazy to me. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find lactic acid. Okay. So we're going to use lactic acid, and then we're going to place this vitamin C stuff over it. Hey, Solange. Yeah, I feel a lot better, baby. I was having an emotional breakdown earlier. I posted that emotional breakdown on my YouTube channel if y'all want to see it. Just so you know. I have my days, you know what I'm saying, where I don't feel good. And I come on here and I talk about it. Hey, Groovy, what's up? I know. That's why when people call for help, because I work for a treatment center or for a place in California, I always try to help people right away. But I don't have any problems because I've been going to the same pharmacy for years, and the pharmacy that I go to, my husband used to work for them, for the company. hate that you guys have a hard time with your medications. And I know, listen to me, I know what it's like when you go to the pharmacy and they don't have your medication, or they're not trying to give it to you, and your stomach, you just like, your heart drops into your stomach. You know what I mean? It's just like, you feel like so scared. Yeah, I've actually somebody told me to do a parasite cleanse, Solange. And somebody come on here earlier today and they were like, you sure are on here a lot. You must need must need to vent. And I'm like, isn't everybody on TikTok live? I mean, that's what it's for. But I do come on it a lot whenever I'm struggling, because I can relate to you guys and it helps me, you know? I think I'm going to do that parasite cleanse, though. For real. Oh, I just used a lactic acid. And then this is Potency Bright and Plump Moisturizer by Peter Thomas Roth. And then I just go over it with my Wella Skin Food, which is like super thick and super moisturizing. I do not do that whole slugging thing, though, because I could not sleep with that shit on my face. With all that shit on my face. You know? It's 8:53. It's only 9 o'clock. Okay. It's like super thick, like a thick layer of like Vaseline or something. I just can't do that, man. That looks too much for me, you know? Y'all want to see my tattoo? Let me put some, I need to get some more lotion for it, but I can't find any more. Sexy lady. Now, keep in mind, it's peeling right now. Do you love it? Pretty cool, huh? I love it so much. Like, I'm obsessed. My husband bought it for me for Christmas and my birthday. This that I used under my eyes is called the Caffeine Solution. It is amazing. It helps depuff your eyes. Then the Ordinary 10% lactic acid. Vitamin C and collagen. I just got this from TJ Maxx. And then Retinol Eye Cream by Inky List, which is super affordable. And this is another Clinique Smart Night. I like that too. But I used this one tonight. Yay, you made it to a year sober. Congratulations, babe. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you. If any of y'all want to come up and share, you're more than welcome to come up and share. Yeah, that's what I'm using, the Ordinary. Just click the button that brings you up here to share, and I will bring y'all in, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to do my hair. Really, Kelly? I'm so happy, girl. I'm happy that my videos help you. That means a lot. Yeah, any of you guys can come up and share. I don't mind that at all. In fact, I encourage it. I like when people come up and share. Okay. So, what we're going to do is take my hair and just run this through the ends of it. This is the Ordinary. This is the Olaplex Bond Repair Cream, number 6. So, I've got my hair pretty much all back to healthiness. I did have balayage on it for 2 years, and I recently got it all cut out. So this is all my natural color. No, this does not make my hair greasy at all. In fact, I would not use it if it did, because I hate that feeling. But it just helps my hair to repair itself and be healthy. And I love it. I don't put it on the top of my head by my roots, because I'm sure it could make my roots greasy. But my ends, it's all good. You know, I used to not do stuff like this when I was in my active addiction. I didn't do any self-care. But now that I'm sober and when I'm feeling good, I try to do self-care with you guys in the evening times. We used to go live on my other account all the time and do self-care. I mean, I've used it so much, I'm completely out. I have to go get me some more. Olaplex number 6. It is expensive. It's $28 for that little bottle. Oh my gosh, did you hear that people are saying that it causes you to not be fertile or something like that? It causes, what is that called when you can't have babies? I gotta brush my teeth.
Might be pepper.
Are y'all done?
No.
I gotta brush my teeth. Yeah, they're something like that. It makes it to where you can be not infertile. You know what thank you, Smooth Moves. Infertile, exactly. Fertility tips, honey. Listen to me. I never thought I could have babies. And me and my husband, he got me pregnant. And I didn't even know. Like, I had no idea. I was actually downstairs in my kitchen. And I was in my active addiction at the time. And my father-in-law came in. And he looked at me and he said, "Are you pregnant?" And I said, "Hell no." And he goes, "Yeah, you watched it?" He said, "Yes, you are." And I got offended. I was like, "No, I'm not." You know what I mean? I thought he was calling me fat. And he always knew I had I was sensitive about my weight. Well, a week later, it wasn't even a week. It was like 5 days later, I checked myself and I was pregnant. And let me tell you what gives this even more goosebumps, okay? My father-in-law, first of all, my son is the only boy. My husband's sister had all girls. So my son is going to carry on the Pludre name. Then another thing that's really awesome about it is my father-in-law was, he died of a heart attack when Nate was like 2 or 3. So he got to see my son be born and be here for his life. Pretty awesome, huh? Honestly, Maddie, I feel like when you're trying and you like really focus on it, that makes you stress out a lot, and that stress will keep you from being able to get pregnant, okay? So I know this is hard to do, but you and your husband just need to relax and just be free, you know? I see so many women who have the same issue, and it's because they're stressed about it, you know? Do you know who Desi Perkins is? Look up Desi Perkins on YouTube. She actually shared her pregnancy story, and she had to have what is that where they help you get pregnant? IVF. She had that done. Desi Perkins, DESI Perkins, PERKINS. You will cry your eyes out watching her story. Because her and her husband had been trying for years. And I'm not, baby. I'm going to go in another room. And then they finally got pregnant. I got to go potty, y'all. I'll be right back. So chill out here, and I'll be right back. Good. Good. I'm proud of you. We'll have to put some in savings then. Won't we, honey? Yeah, I pray for you, Maddie. I know how. I'm sorry that's going on. I know that can be really hard, especially whenever you're trying and it makes a woman feel like she's not a woman. You know what I mean? So we'll all say a little prayer, a pregnancy prayer for you, girl. Okay? Okay. So I know a lot of you guys don't know this. Pinky, look at my tattoo, girl. So the reason why I got this tattoo was for my sobriety, okay? These flowers down here are the flowers for the month of July. They represent my son. This cage is the disease of addiction. And this bird flying out of it is being released, free from the disease and free as a bird. Do you love that? Do we love it? We're going to invite Sexton over here. See what he says. When I tell you this with this girl, that she's fucking amazing. What up?
Yo, what's good?
What are you doing?
I'm chilling. I haven't gone live in like a week. I was like consistent with it for a second, but it's just like when I get on here, I'll stay too long.
We were on Clubhouse today, me and my girls. You know, we have a little women. It's like a women's meeting, but anybody's welcome. But it usually ends up just being us girls.
Hell yeah.
So what's going on with your sobriety? How are you doing in your sobriety? Tell us about your sobriety.
Dude, I mean, today I just had a acquaintance pass away. So, and this is like the second time in under a month. So it's
Wow.
this one didn't hit me as hard, honestly, because I like expected it. You know what I mean? But the last one, like it was out of nowhere. I did not expect it. I was just talking to them. So it's just that's been really prevalent on my mind today. I've just been like, damn, it's crazy. You know what it's like? It's nonstop. It's nonstop. It's like we almost can become numb to it. But the one before this one wasn't the case. It like that shit made me. I can still almost start crying when I think about it because this dude was just such a sweetheart, such a sweet dude, and I found out from a mutual friend from TikTok, literally, because I was talking to him the day before, and then I texted him and he didn't respond, and I was like, oh, I didn't really think anything of it, but it's rough. I mean, as far as I can just say, my recovery has been really stable for the past 4 years. The first 4 years of my recovery were like just crazy. Like I really just I didn't know what the fuck to do, so a lot of it was me just I don't know, just staying really busy. Like, you know what I mean? Like distracting myself with a lot of recovery stuff, staying really busy with a lot of recovery stuff. And then in like the past 4 years, I mean, I haven't really, this is something that, that I've talked about briefly, but it's like, dude, I had to get a kind of a foundation with just like normal, like 12 step, you know what I mean? And then from there be like, what else is out? Like, I wanted to know what else is out there. I wanted to see like, what is there other than 12 step? Because that's all I was offered. And that's generally what that's what we're presented. And
a lot of us are deprogramming ourselves.
Yeah.
Are you? I have been going through the same thing where I was like really into 12 steps for the first like 3.5, 4 years. And then I hit this spot where I was like, I've never been able to go into anything different. Every treatment center I went to, that's all they offered was abstinence-based 12-step recovery. And I started questioning all the things that I learned in 12 steps. You know what I'm saying? Not that it's not a good, the 12 steps are great. I love them. They help me sustain my life. But now I'm trying to like step outside of that. And there's so many other people that are going through the same thing here on TikTok.
Yeah. I was just talking to Chauncey. It's huge. It's like, I mean, this is what I was saying to her last night. We're taught that if we branch out, that we're going to relapse, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, I disagree with that strongly. If you're like oh, I like, fuck, I'm not doing that, and you're like resentful at it, and you're like, that's a different story. That's a different story. If you're like,
Right.
yo, I need some, like, I want to see some other things, I want to see other options, I want to look into what's out there, that's a totally different thing. And so, I mean, when I did that, I told my sponsor, and I was like, I'm branching out from this. And he was actually really receptive because he's an OG, and he understood, and he wasn't whack about it. But I mean, I've been doing it now for 4 years, and so, like, outside of just only 12 step, and for me it's a lot more sustainable. My mental health is better, honestly. For me, it's something that I still will partake in. Like, I'll still do 12 step meetings and stuff, but it's not the only thing I can do now, you know what I mean? And so
Right.
that's just how I feel about it. It's,
No, I'm the same way, dude. Okay, we got a question. Totally, and Tony wants to know, or how do people deal with pause, post-acute withdrawal syndrome? Do you want to
going
go
to
first?
answer. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I just tell people this, honestly. This is my take on dealing with, like, when it comes to dealing with withdrawal, I kind of stay away from that. And I always just say, go to medical detox. I don't give at home advice when it comes to that personally. But when it comes to post acute, usually that can still be happening once you get out of treatment, especially if you only go for 30 days or some shit. You know what I mean? What helped me, honestly, was talking. I know that sounds like it's always my answer. I'm sorry, it's always my answer. Like, the more I talked, the more I opened up, the more I worked on myself, the better I felt physically. I mean, and I wish that that's not the answer that people want to hear. It's like, usually people want like a remedy, or, you know what I'm saying? Like a remedy or some shit they can take. I can't give advice on that. I would say, if anything, I took a shit ton of hot ass showers and baths, because those will release like opiate like endorphins. So what I will say to people is, cold showers for stimulants, and hot baths or hot showers for opiates, because they release, like, this, the cold shower will release the stimulating endorphins, and then like I said, the hot will release the more feel good ones. So that's as far as I'll go when I'm saying, like, what to actually do physically. It's mostly about talking.
I
I'm sorry.
totally agree. I tell people, listen to me. Find some people that you like get along with, that you can talk to and that you can do meetings with. When I started doing, like, I would have little women's meetings, and it would be like 5 or 6 of us, and we would go on Facebook Messenger and we would video call each other. And it was like a motherfucking meeting right there. You know what I mean? Over the phone, and it literally helped me so much. This morning I was having a nervous breakdown, crying my eyes out. I came on a live stream and cried my eyes out to 100 people, and then I felt great afterward. It always
Yeah.
helps whenever you can get stuff up out of you. When you talk about it and you get it out of you, it takes the power away from it, and it gives it to other people to help carry that burden, so you're not carrying the burden all by yourself.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's, the thing is like, we get taught, we teach ourselves through years of substance use that, like, only consuming things is going to be what help. Like, that's the mindset that I had for so many years. So it was just, when people would say, like, talk, I would just be like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, how is that going to do anything? It's like when someone says they're depressed, and then people are like, go for a walk. But the truth is that going for a walk isn't going to hurt, but it's not the answer that you want when you're feeling depressed. You know what I mean? So it's tricky. And if someone over here asked, could you speak on abstinence in recovery, and that there's 17 and it seems really daunting? I mean, I can tell you this: abstinence is not the only way to recover. Like, the thing is that for some people, they start off in that, and then it's like, they have to hold. So I can just speak for myself. I had to hold that so dear that I would, like, project that out there, basically. And it was like, this is my thing, so I have to, like, just be so, like, strong-willed about it. But to be completely honest, for me, it's just about people not dying. So if this person is saying that it seems daunting, you don't have to do abstinence-based recovery. Like, unless maybe that feels right. Like, if it feels right for you, then give it a try. But you know what I mean?
I'm on Suboxone, and McCauley knows that. I'm on Suboxone, and it's saved my life. I tried to get sober through abstinence-based sobriety. For all the times I tried, I went to treatment 6 times total, and 5 of those times I tried abstinence. And every time I was in sober living, abstinence. Every time I was with a sponsor working steps, abstinence. And in 2015, my little boy got taken away, and it was like really a serious situation. Like if I didn't get sober and stay sober, my son was going to get taken away from me by CPS, and my rights were going to get terminated. So I got on Suboxone as an insurance plan on my sobriety that would help me if I wanted to go fall back. It would help me stay on point. And it saved my life, man. I truly believe that I wouldn't be sober if I hadn't got on Suboxone. Now, I will tell you this, I've been on it for 6.5 years, and now I'm trying to come off. And it's a little difficult because it's hard to taper. I'm a drug addict, you know what I'm saying? And so once I get to the point where I'm trying to taper and stuff, which I've gotten down to a really, really low amount, like 1/4 of a milligram, but it's still in the back of my mind, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just the same the way it is. So you can stay on this medication for the rest of your life, or you can taper off of it, like I'm trying to do. But there's all kinds of different recoveries. I mean, that kind of recovery, and then there's like I never knew that there was a Cali sober until I came to TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that was a recognized thing.
I mean, it's legit. I know people in my personal life that have been, sober for years, for over 10 years, and that have utilized cannabis and that are very stable with their recovery. It's something that, I'm here in Austin, Texas. Like, we're a super hippie type community here. But I mean, dude, I say that my whole thing, is abstinence because that's what it is at this point. But at the beginning, I identified as it being abstinence. But dude, I was on so many meds, and and I'm not saying that like that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying a lot of the people that preach this abstinence shit are heavily medicated on things like SSRIs, sometimes even benzodiazepines.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, like, and then are like smoking a pack a day, are literally drinking too much caffeine, and it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. So
Dude,
I always say,
people that come into my comment section and tell me that I'm not in recovery because I'm on subs, and they're literally on pain pills, anxiety medicine, medication for their mental health, smoking 12 packs of cigarettes a day, and fucking hitting up 2 fucking things of coffee, a big ass jug of it. You know what I mean?
and that's the
But
thing
they're
is I don't have it.
so it's
I know.
sober.
Yeah. Look, the thing is like, I don't have an issue with you do that either, but you can't hate from that perspective because it's hypocritical. It doesn't make sense. So
Right.
my whole thing is I'm like, to those people, what I say is like, I'm pretty petty. I'm like, well, I can tell you that I don't consume nicotine. I don't consume caffeine. I don't consume medication. And I like list everything. And I'm like, and I still will not judge someone because what they do is differently because it's subjective. It's subjective, dude. And even if you subscribe to 12 step, what is one of the sayings that they say? To thine own self be true.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? It means you get to dictate not only if something is a relapse or if it's if it's just a slip or if it's a relapse, you get to dictate what your sober date is. You get to dictate if you are sober or not. And you just have to, it doesn't make sense because I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna be like that, maybe like look at yourself first and make sure that there's nothing that can be pointed back at you. You know what I mean? It's like
Most of us do consume caffeine and sugar and all these things, and so I don't know. That's what was hitting me so hard whenever I started sharing about being on Suboxone was these people who I knew. Like my sponsor is an alcoholic with 31 years sober, but she's prescribed Xanax because she has
yeah,
anxiety.
yeah.
And nobody would even question her 31 years of sobriety because she's an alcoholic. And so that it doesn't even get brought up. But for me, if I decided to get on it, and I talked about being on the Xanax for my depression, it would absolutely be get brought up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's just like, dude, the thing is like a lot of that is partially why I started to branch out as well. Is I was like, I don't like dogma. I don't
Yeah.
like I just don't. I don't like people saying things as a definite or like that there's no way around it. I don't like anything that seems like it's fear based. I don't like, I mean, dude, and I hated authority and I really had to get over that in order to work with, a sponsor. But it's like, dude, I can just say when it comes to this, it's about people not dying. That's it.
Right.
That's my only motivator is I just don't want people to die because yeah, like I just said at the beginning, two people in the last month and it's that's just how it goes. And so we literally anything we can utilize to make sure that we aren't going to pass away that's where I'm at now. And like I said, this has shifted a lot for me. In the past 8 years I went from being staunchly against other forms of recovery to being completely open to them. Like it's, you know what I mean? And just because the only reason I do abstinence, to be honest, Nicole, at this point, is because I found that it did the most for my mental health. That's it. As I was like, it's not about, it would be wrong. Like if cannabis needed to be utilized, I would probably do that. If, medication needed to be utilized, I would do that because I did for quite some time, and I used CBD to get off meds. I'm not encouraging anyone to do that, but I did that at 4 years. And I'm sorry, I did that at 2 years, and then I got the CBD at 4 years. So I was able to utilize CBD as a plant medicine, and it was really helpful for me. You know what I mean? So
Were you just on too many medications and you didn't feel good?
Yeah. I was on like Seroquel, Depakote, Wellbutrin, Clonidine, gabapentin,
Why
all
they
of
have
those.
so much stuff?
Because the amount of methadone that I was on and the amount of Klonopin that I was prescribed. So it was both of the things that I was like allowed to have are what kind of caused me the most issues. And that's why when I first got clean, I hated on methadone so much. And honestly, I still don't think it's as good at I think Suboxone is a much more realistic option in my opinion. But I just I say that just to say like how this stuff just everything comes around full circle. The longer that that you do this, it's like you start to really see things from a different perspective. It's interesting.
I was the same way with methadone. I abused it. That's why that's why I'm partial to subs because it was so much easier for me to get high on methadone. Do you know what I'm saying? But I support anybody that's on methadone. I 100% support them. I just know for me,
Same.
I would get high on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it got me messed up.
I knew I could get high on it, and I would take copious amounts of it, and I would nod out, smoke cigarettes all day, light myself on fire.
Same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I mean, I just, the fact that I could go up in dosage regularly was not good for me. I could not manage medication. So putting that into my hands was it was literally impossible. It's like, there's no possible way you're going to be like, okay, you can literally go up as high as you want. And the only reason that I stopped at 160 milligrams was because I had an intervention and everyone was like, you're dying. You need to go, so I would have kept going up. I would have for sure. But I agree though. I don't hate on anyone that's taking method. I just think that if you're going to take specifically a maintenance medication, it should be done with oversight, is my opinion. And the times that I've seen people where they're having more issues is when they just have a whole bunch of subs or methadone. That doesn't really happen as much with methadone though. But basically just no oversight is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, and it's rare. I feel like it's more common that people have oversight. You know what I mean? I don't know though. That's just my assumption.
I think being on having Suboxone, like there's certain, like for me, at the beginning, it was hard for me to take my medication as prescribed because in my mind, I thought taking more of my Suboxone would make me feel better. And so I
Yeah.
remember I was prescribed 8 milligrams and I was taking an extra 4 every afternoon. And so I went in to see my doctor and I told him, hey, I'm taking an extra 4 milligrams and I don't know why. It's just like my brain is just telling me to take that extra 4. And so he upped me to 12 milligrams and it was perfect. And I didn't take any more after
Yeah.
that. And it was like the perfect dose for me. But I think that if I had the option to just keep going up and up and up and up every time I came in, like what addict's not going to take the opportunity to keep going up? You know what I mean? At least at
Yeah.
first. And that's what happens. I know a lot of my girlfriends that are on methadone, they've told me like at the beginning I kept going up and up and up because I knew I could get more, but then I started to want to really be in recovery. And now like one of my friends, she got up and now she's like trying to go back down and they're tapering her down because she's like, I got so high up there that it was just not, it wasn't conducive for me anymore. But that's the point with MAT treatment. The point with MAT treatment is to get you to a point where you eventually, if you're on MAT and you're not really sober, you're taking other drugs or you're abusing your MAT medication, that while you're in that program, eventually you'll see the light and you'll want to be, doing things the right way. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly. It's like let's get people in the door. Like let's get their,
Yeah.
let's dip our toes in a little bit here, and then maybe we'll be acclimated or jump right in. I mean, it really there's so many different ways to go about this, but I mean, dude, it's yeah. I can tell you that I was heavily medicated for the first like 3.5 years. Like I told you that list, like that's, and there was a point too where I took Seroquel during the day, XR, the extended release version, and then the normal at night. So I was like sedated. But the thing is
Yeah.
that what it did for me is it kept me sedated enough to where I wasn't like jumping out of my skin basically. So it's like there's this idea that a lot of people have that like because we have issues with substances that we now have to feel like shit forever or something, and it's like that's not the case. That's not, I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I'm it's look for me. I'll tell you this, Nicole, because this is like some deep shit here for me. I was a pill addict. That was my thing. Pills. Like I was obsessed with pills. That was my downfall. That was it. And so it was really hard for me because when I went to treatment, they were like, "Oh, here's a bunch of pills. Like you need to take, and these are pills that aren't fun." So
Yeah.
and then I was like, I felt perpetually kind of trapped, to be honest. Like I was like, I feel like I'm trapped in this loop of like I have to take pills. And but the thing is I never gave I never gave pills a chance that were effective. Because
Right.
if you are obsessed with the euphoria of a medication, in my opinion, it invalidates it completely. And so basically, that was really just the beginning of my recovery, was just being willing to take meds that I didn't necessarily that didn't sound fun to me. You know what I mean? And then it
Yeah.
makes it to where you can work on yourself because you're not actively worried about, oh, I need to take a Xan or I need to, take a Oxy or something. And so it's that's why I'm all for other, like any form of medication and even alternatives. Like I'm all for like people who use psychedelics, some, cannabis. Like it's just like, dude, whatever, like
I've been trying to get help for my situation for about a month now. So I got to this point where I don't know if it's my hormones or my I don't know if it's my hormones or my brain or my thyroid or whatever. And I've been talking to my doctor about this for years, about how I feel tired all the time, how I don't feel like myself, and it's been affecting me for about, so I want to say the first 3 or 4 years of my sobriety were good, but the last two and a half have been so difficult because I feel like a complete all the time tired, all the time just completely unmotivated. But then when I am able to pull myself out of it and get motivated, then I have problems focusing on what I'm trying to achieve and get it all the way done. Just a whole mess of shit. And so
yeah,
I've been talking to my doctor about this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I straight up told him, I said, I feel like because I have a past history of addiction, I've been honest with you about that you're not willing to see past that. And I need a doctor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist that's going to be willing to see past the fact that I had an addiction, because I'm coming to you and telling you about these things that I've never been like this. I've always been a person who goes and does things and is very I don't leave my house, dude. Like, that's not like me. Like, you can ask my husband, like, I'll stay in the house for 2-3 weeks at a time without leaving, except for to take my son to school and pick him up, and that's it. And that's miserable. And this is in sobriety. I feel like this. Okay, sober. And
Yeah,
I'm on Lexapro, which is 5 milligrams, and I'm on Wellbutrin 200 milligrams. That's it. You know what I mean? And then my
yeah,
little itty bitty quarter piece of a milligram of sub. Like, I'm not even on a lot of sub anymore. And
yeah,
so I go to my doctor and I'm willing, like, I was against taking medication that I thought could inhibit, like, that could mess me up, or could, like, I wouldn't want to take Seroquel because I thought it would mess me up or something. But
yeah,
now I'm
yeah,
actually open to getting complete help for my mental health, and wanting to see a psychiatrist to get help. And it's like my doctor, literally, I'm telling you right now, his words out of his mouth, well, I would normally prescribe you this, a person this for that, but because you have a past history of addiction, literally. And then the next time I go to see him, I said, I feel like because I have a past history with addiction, that you're not treating me the same. He's like, oh, no, 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 we don't do that. I was like, doctor, you said it to me last time that you're not, because I have a history of addiction, you won't prescribe me this medication, even though you think it would be the best medication for me.
yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
I'm stuck.
it's not an addictionologist, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a regular PC.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only when it comes to like meds and doc, what I've found honestly is that you would assume that addictionologists would be less likely to prescribe you certain stuff, but they actually, in my experience, they're more likely because they do have that understanding, and so they don't have that weird stigma and that weird like fear, I
Yeah.
guess, of certain stuff. So I don't know. I mean, when I talk to people about this stuff, it's always like, even when it just comes to meds in general, like I kind of I stay away from that, just because it's a tricky situation. I don't want to ever give medical advice, but the thing is like the only way that I got prescribed the meds that helped me was only exclusively working with an addictionologist. But then it's like, do you want to put yourself in that box to where you know what I'm saying? So then some people are like, I don't know if I necessarily only want to see a doctor like that. And you can always see a bunch of get second opinions and stuff. But I mean, Nicole, the thing is like the one thing, and I don't mean to step on your toes, but the one thing that comes to mind, like, have you done blood work?
I just got my blood work done, and
Yeah.
I have a really bad vitamin D deficiency.
Okay, because and like I said, I'm not claiming to be a doctor or anything, but that's something that really helped me was like figuring out, and a lot of this stuff for me, it also had to do with deficiencies, and I was like, oh shit, it's crazy. A doctor that I really like, Dr. Dawn Bantil, she's super awesome, and that's something that she always talks about, and I think it's dope to look at that. But I mean, dude, you're obviously you're doing what you need to do, and it's like it's only a result of us just getting some clarity and getting stability and then realizing that. And so it's like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, like the way that the way that you put yourself out there is just, I relate to it because I like to do the same thing. It's just it's admirable at the same time because some of the stuff that I like when I saw, I don't want to go too deep into like drama, but just even like that video that dude posted of you, I was like, it pissed me off. It made me, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck that, like that's messed up. And so it's like, I really think that, you not only do you have a good message and stuff, but like it's just, I really appreciate the way that you do this
I
stuff
love
because
you,
it's like,
man. I love
yeah,
you too.
love you too.
You
You
love
know,
me. It's okay.
yeah, no, for sure. I got
I
much.
feel the same way about you, and I'm so glad that we have been able to connect more this year. You know what I'm saying? That we've been able to connect with each other and have each other's cell phones and stuff like that. Because I feel like, on TikTok you only get like a certain kind of judgment of each other. And if you could, you know what I'm saying, like you wouldn't know me and I wouldn't know you. And so I'm just grateful that we've been able to connect with each other, you know?
Hell yeah. No, dude, there's so many badass people that I've met from TikTok. It's crazy. Like it's it's totally insane. And I want to do a TikTok meeting on uh Clubhouse in my alternative recovery club. And so I'm trying to get people together that are open to that type of vibe, to where it's like just and I'm not saying that not like 12-step people aren't allowed, they're totally allowed, but I think it would be interesting. I talked to Chauncey about that. There's a couple other people that I'm talking to, and it's just Clubhouse is weird. It's like it's hard because you want to.
We would like to come, won't we, guys? My people will come.
I would love that. Yeah, I would say on the weekend would be best for people that have really like crazy schedules, most likely. But excuse me, it's just like I don't know. I think it would be awesome to kind of to do that. And a lot of the meetings on Clubhouse are you'll hear a lot of like 12-step kind of terminology, but it's just a little bit more low key. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like I said,
I
I'm not.
like it.
Yeah, it's
I really like it a lot because every time that we've done our meeting, we do it every Monday, and it's usually like seven of us girls, 7 or 8 girls, but it's really makes people want to share more because they don't have to show their face. You know what I
straight up.
mean?
That's it. That's literally that's why I always refer people to it, as I'm like, dude, I know people that have shared for their first time ever on Clubhouse because they're like, oh, this is just so much less intimidating. And it's still, I'm not going to say it's still not, even me after like, dude, I'm a freaking content creator. I used to do public speaking when there were public gatherings. And even my first time, I was like, oh, this is weird. You know what I mean? Just because I was new to it, but it's dope.
Clubhouse is
I
an
really like
app,
it.
Lori. It's an app. I'll show it to you real fast. It's an app, and you can go on there and you can make a room. And like McCauley has his own room, I have my own room, and you can leave it open to where anybody can join it, or you can have it as closed so only certain people can join it. And it's just your voices, so you don't have to show your face. So it's like having a phone call with like as many people that want to join. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just, and man, I've been in meetings with people from the UK, literally like Germany. Like it's just cool because it's literally like a worldwide meeting, and you can find ones that are scheduled. You can see some that pop up. It's dope. I'm like
Yeah,
I'm all for it. You know,
I like it too.
there was
I like it.
someone. I wanted to hear your answer to this, Nicole, and then what time is it? And then we can go from
Yeah,
there. But
Lori, it can be used as like a meeting. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, it's like how do you cope with the harm and anxiety you cause to the people you love? What's your thought on
How do
that?
I?
Yeah.
So when I first, okay, so let me just preface this by telling you guys that I caused a lot of harm, okay? I was pregnant and I was addicted to meth, and I gave birth to my son high on methamphetamine. So out of all the harm that I caused some major harm. I could have killed my child. And so when I was in my active addiction, I thought, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm only hurting myself. And then when I got pregnant, then I realized, wow, I'm fucking up my life and I'm fucking up my child. And so after giving birth to my son and after him getting taken away from me and me fighting to get him back, I started to realize I did a fourth step with my sponsor. And I started to realize that all these years that I thought I was only hurting myself, I was hurting my mother and father. My mom would stay up all night long praying for me. I remember going to my parents' house and laying down on my mom's bed and laying on my head in her lap, and she would brush my hair and pray over me the whole time, and I would be twitching and talking to myself and not knowing that I was even there, like in a whole nother land. And so the way I cope with it now is I've made amends with my family through a living amends by showing them that I'm sober, I'm staying sober, and I'm not going to go back to drugs and alcohol. But the most
I have the most problem with the fact that I was pregnant and addicted. And I still to this day have so much guilt and shame. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to fully get over it. But I'll tell you this, I work every single day. I pray every day to ask my higher power to give me strength and forgive me and to let me forgive myself, because I am harder on myself than any of the people that I caused harm to ever could be. Like, I beat myself down about it every single day about my son. Um, but I got to sit down with my parents after I had 1 year sober, and they were like, I don't think they believed I was really sober because they were in New York and I was in Arkansas. So they sent me and my husband a train ticket to come visit them. And we took me and my son and my husband and went up there, and they got to see me that I was like in recovery. And so I got to sit with my parents and like talk to them. And my mom would say, "You even talk different. You're Nicole you're my baby that I gave, my Nicole." Because when I was in my active addiction, I cussed every other word. I talked just crazy talk. I
Yeah.
just was a different person. I was like J Money in my active addiction. You know what I mean? I was a whole different person. And so I got to connect with my parents like I was before I ever started using drugs. And so every time I get a chance to, I always try to just be at every family gathering my parents want me to be at, because I want to show them that they're important to me. All those family gatherings that I missed because I was high, like, I want to make up for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my family has been the most receptive to forgiving me, and it's amazing. We've all come together, and the only person who's, hard on themselves about it anymore is me. But I will tell you this, like, I still am struggling to forgive myself and to let go of the guilt and shame that I feel because of my pregnancy, having my son when I was under the influence. But I work really hard to stay sober and to show my family, because see, I talked so much shit for so many years. "Oh, I'm getting sober. I changed my life. Look, I bought a new car. Look, I got a new job. Look, mom, I bought you this for Christmas." And I'm passed out on the couch. I just talked so much bullshit that they couldn't believe anything that came out of my mouth. So I had to show them through my actions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, emotional there, but I get
No, don't
emotional,
apologize. Don't ever feel if we're on this together, you can. I encourage you to let your
my
emotions
son.
out.
I love my
You
son
know.
so much, and I worry every single day. Every single day I worry about how my methamphetamine addiction affected him. Is he going to be okay when he gets older? Is he going to be able to not get, is he going to stay sober when he gets to be older? Is he going to have learning disabilities? Is he have problems with his anxiety and depression? And if he does, I will think it was because of me. 100%. There's no way I won't think it is. So it is a burden that I have to carry, and it's my fault because I fucking used while I was pregnant. The moment I found out I was pregnant, I remember thinking, "Oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to stop using?" And I remember stopping and trying to stay stopped, and then relapsing, and then trying to stay stopped again, and then relapsing. And I did this back and forth for 9 months. 9 months, even having my baby inside of me, I still kept on using drugs. I kept on falling back. And so that's how strong addiction is. I was one of those people that would say, "I would never use drugs if I was pregnant, and I certainly wouldn't use a needle." And I would look at my people who were doing that and think, "How could they ever do that? That will never be me." And then it was me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the thing is like it's rough. For me, that was the hardest stuff, is to like look at how I actively affected people and seeing for me, I saw consequences. Like with my sister, I was just so like I used to make myself like I had legitimate panic attacks, but I would make them worse on purpose because I was like, I'll get to go to the doctor and maybe they'll give me some Xans or something, or you know what I mean? And the reason I'm saying this is because I taught my sister, like I taught her that like not to deal with things in a healthy way, basically. And she actually, she deals with things in a healthy way. So it's like, the thing is, Nicole, is like, you're going to have more time in your recovery with your son than any potential time that would be, actively using. And so that's the thing, is like, when it comes to like kids, they're super impressionable. And so by you doing what you're doing, you know what I mean, you're actively addressing that. So but it's still okay, and it's normal to have feelings like that, because I mean, there's tons of stuff that I did. Like, I was verbally abusive all the time. I would throw shit, I would hit stuff, I would scream. And it's like, that's not the type of dude that I am. I don't yell and scream or throw shit. Like, not fucked up, but it's like, I would think of the worst possible things that I could tell people, and I would like, I was good at it. I was good at saying the meanest possible things. Like, dude, just the list goes on. I just was very, very hurtful, mostly to the people that I cared about the most. So this contributes to you feeling like a, terrible person, and that's why the actual the thing to apply when it comes to this is actually actively changing your life. And so, like you said, living amends, but directly acknowledging stuff is extremely underrated. I think that saying, like, really acknowledging things is way different than just just saying sorry and kind of being passive about it. Like, that's something that I had to learn in my recovery, was like saying, I take responsibility, and like, you know what the deal is. And so I can just say, honestly, um, after years of that, it is not only my responsibility to stay in this for myself, but like, first and foremost, it's for myself, of course. But dude, I got generations of ancestors that are behind me. My grandpa literally passed away the day he was coming to meet me for the first time from an H overdose after being sober for 2 years. Like, it's just, there's so many, when we really get some clarity and start to look at the benefits that we can gain and how we can actually positively affect the ones we love, it kind of becomes a little bit of an easier decision, because it's like, dude, it sucks. And I mean, the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that it starts feeling, when you're using long enough, it feels involuntary. It literally feels involuntary. It feels like you are taken over, like you're possessed by something. And I'm not saying that we don't have responsibility. That's what people misinterpret when I say stuff like that. No, like, my life is literally about accountability and responsibility, and that's why I'm still alive. But it's like, people just don't understand. I guess a lot of people who haven't been through it don't understand. I won't just say people in general, but that it's like, it feels involuntary. And so people that are in that position, you don't know.
Your brain gets hijacked. Your brain becomes hijacked, and so you know how it is. Like, the prefrontal cortex of our brain that is responsible for, like, decision making and impulse control and cognitive function. When we're on drugs for a long time, like we were, like, that part of our brain where we would make the decision to stop, or make the decision, not go out on that impulse and go get high and jump off the bridge or something, like, all that's fucked up. It's not working properly. So it is like you're literally being controlled by the substance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that it's actually like, these are facts. It's not just like an opinion on it. Like, that's why a lot of people don't prioritize basic needs, like eating food, drinking water, getting enough sleep. That's because it literally, my motivators, it was like, there was no thought of any of that stuff, really. It was like, I was consciously aware that I wasn't eating food and, like, drinking water, but it really, it's overrided. That aspect is over. Think about when it comes to money. What do we like? We need money to eat food, but what does money equal when you're actively using? What does it equal? It equals substances. So, it's just like, yeah, it's definitely, it's crazy. The thing is like, when it comes to just this whole deal, it's now when I look at all that stuff, there's still some things that I feel like, I don't want to say shame, but I just feel a certain type of way about it. Like I feel like, that's icky, like that's gnarly. You know what I mean? But it's interesting how just talking about things in general that I never thought I would say aloud, they kind of minimize the power, and some things are stronger than others. You know what I mean? But it's like, look, like I think when it comes to like what you shared, I can't say like I understand completely because I'm not a woman that's had a child, but like I can tell you with confidence, Nicole, like that I don't look at it like, just because I understand addiction, it's a different thing. But a lot of dudes, even in recovery, can have weird things to say about that. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, bro, kind of comes off kind of sideways. But I mean, honestly, it's like I've heard some crazy stuff. And most for the most part, it's like there's not really anything that I've ever heard of that wasn't like that we can't address.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about it. I'm sure that things exist like that, but I'm just saying, and it generally, like, there's always something that we can do about it, or we just use it like as a huge motivator towards now. Like I look at all that bullshit and I'm just like, honestly, I needed an incentive to do this. I'm an extremist, so I unfortunately had to get to a very extreme point.
Right.
You know?
I understand. Me too, honey. And my son is my motivation to getting and staying sober. And that's my motivation every single day. It pushes me even farther. I'm
I
so
mean,
glad
that's the
you come
thing.
on with me tonight. I'm glad I
No, me
invited
too.
you over here.
Oh yeah, like I said, I some some days I'm super consistent and I'll go on here and I like it. It's just there's days that I get stuck because I'm really, I want to answer all the questions, and then I'm like, literally the other week it was like 3 hours, and I was like,
I
dude,
love
I'm
that.
sorry, I
I'll
love
stay
it
on here
too,
for
but
3 hours. I stay
dude,
on here forever.
I'm on the phone, I'm on my phone so much, Nicole. So it's like what ends up happening with me is I get headaches. I'm not even gonna lie. I get headaches and my eyes start to hurt. Especially the thing that happens with me though is that if I do the ring light, then I'm like, dude, I have that ring fried into my
Yeah.
eye. So if I close my eyes, I'll see.
I don't do a ring light, thank God. But look at I got a new tattoo. Before I let you go,
Oh
I want to
damn.
show you. It's my sobriety tattoo. It's peeling right now, but it is, see it?
Oh damn, that looks good.
So the flowers at the bottom are my son's flowers for the month of July, and the cage is the disease of addiction, and the bird is me being set free.
That's dope. That looks really good. Hell
Love
yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
it looks dope. I'm not gonna
I
lie. It
sat for
looks really
six
dope.
and a half hours and got that motherfucker done, and I haven't had a tattoo sober. So the
Yeah.
pain, I did not realize how bad it was going to fucking hurt, but I
Yeah.
sat through that motherfucker like a beast, and I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna go back in a couple months and get some more. I'm gonna cover the whole arm.
Dude, I had the
I love
same experience. I I literally would be like falling asleep or nodding out when I got tats. And so the first one that I got, I was like, okay, this is not even, this is like, this hurts
it.
actively. Like, it
I
straight
I
up hurts.
I told the tattoo girl, I said, "Oh, I'll be fine. I can handle it." And the moment she started going, I said, "This is not what I remember it feeling like." Like I was sweating and down by my wrist, it was hurting so bad. Like I was going to tap out and say I can't do this. But she had already gotten the whole outline done, and I was like, I can't walk out of here with the outline done. You know what I mean? So I just powered through, and I'm so glad that I did because I got emotional when she finished because it means something to me. Like this represents my son and me being, like me being my son saved my life. Being having my son saved my life. If I wouldn't have gotten pregnant with my son, I would not be here. You know, he gave me a reason to get sober. He gave me something to love other than I didn't love myself and I couldn't love myself even in my first 2, 3 years of sobriety. And my son gave me something to love other than myself that I could focus on to where I could learn how to love myself. You know what I mean? Because I didn't love myself at all. So I could love
Yeah.
him. And throughout my sobriety, learning and growing and working my steps and working with my sponsor, I learned how to start to try and even love myself, you know?
Oh yeah. I didn't actively start. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't actively start loving myself until I was like at 4 years. I didn't even know. I didn't know that I thought, oh yeah, I love myself. And
Right.
I did this. I mean, I'll say this too. The only reason that I went to treatment was because the two people left in my life, my girlfriend and my mom, were the only people at my intervention. No one else wanted anything to do with me. And I was so codependent that that's why I went to treatment. That's it. And so when people say, "Oh, you can't get sober for something," you can get into recovery for someone else,
Yeah.
but you have to actually have that willingness to stay. And it's like it's so true in my case, because it was like I literally I was on the plane and my girlfriend escorted me. She had to escort me because I had to go to another state. On the plane, I was hoping that the plane would crash the whole time. I was like, please, just let this plane crash. I do not want to. And I was going to Mississippi, and look, no hate towards Mississippi, but I'm from Austin, Texas. We are we're like a liberal island in the middle of Texas, and I'm like going to Mississippi, and I'm
Mississippi
like,
is like, it's not good
dude.
there.
Nah, and
You know
I'd
what I
never been
mean?
around racist people. I'd
That's what
never
I was
been,
gonna say.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd never been around racist people. I'm not even I literally never encountered a racist person in Austin. And I get there and I'm like, yo, and then I saw the flag and I was like, ooh, it looks like a Confederate
Bad.
flag. But anyways, the point being is just like other people can be a huge motivator, and that's not unhealthy as long as we're also doing it for ourselves. You know what I mean? And the self-love thing, it's like, dude, I had to literally actively do affirmations in order to learn how to love myself. I didn't know how to even go about it. So that's something that I started doing at 4 years. I stopped nicotine, caffeine, I changed my diet, and I started doing affirmations. And it was all in conjunction with me literally blooming in my recovery. And that's also when I opened up to other forms of recovery. And like I said, Nicole, I had no idea how to love myself. I had to actively listen to guided affirmation because I didn't even know how to do affirmations. So I had to listen. And then I did that I still do affirmations every single day. That's part of my like morning routine, and like my morning meditation. But the point I'm trying to make is like, it was so foreign to me that I had to have help in learning how to actively love myself. And part of that was not only self-care. Like I didn't do self-care for the first 4 years of my recovery. I didn't. I didn't drink
Like,
water.
you didn't get your nails or get your hair cut or get you
No,
a massage or take you a nice hot bath or anything like that?
no, I'm talking like basic, like drink
Yeah.
water every day. No, did not drink water. Did like my eating was not there. I didn't eat enough food. I didn't like it was way further. Even when it came to like I've always been obsessed with baths, so that's a whole nother story. I take a bath every night. Uh, but no, Nicole, like really it was just basic. Like I was dehydrated perpetually. That messed with my mental health. It made me jittery and I didn't feel good. And just the whole point of me sharing this is like that was at 4 years, dude.
Right.
4 years into this, I had to learn that. And so, you know what I mean? It takes what it takes. And I can tell you, since I started actively doing affirmations and loving myself and can say that I do love myself, it's, it's so much easier because look, the point of this is not being hard on ourselves. And a lot of people I feel misinterpret that. And it, I was so, I was too hard on myself for the first 4 years. I was like punishing myself. I was like, you are so bad that this is your consequence now. Like you have like, and I feel like a lot of us can fall into that pitfall sometimes in recovery, and that's not the vibe. What that does is it leaves you feeling terrible. So I got to a point to where I wasn't happy being alive for a second in recovery, and that was at 4 years. And so I had to do a lot of work because I was like, what is happening? I've already been so active in my recovery.
Where I'm
I
at
would,
right now with
you
my
know,
with the way I feel. I'm at that point where I'm like, I got to change something. I need to change my diet. I need to start doing real self care, as in working out, changing my diet, going to the doctor. I need to go, like, as a woman, I have totally let myself go in the fact that I'm not, like, I need to see the OBGYN. Like, it's important. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like, I need to get my punani checked to make sure it's right. Because I know I have the same partner, but it's just, it's just a
yeah,
woman thing that can happen. I could have cancer and not even know it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, and so I have to do that. I need to make sure I get my glasses in there. Like, these are just things that like a normal person does once a year, gets their eyeglasses checked and gets their new contacts. You know what I mean? And for me, as a person, as an addict, I put these things off, like the doctor's office and the eyeglasses and all this stuff. And it's like, if I would just keep it up once a year like I'm supposed to, with my teeth, getting them cleaned, all that, I would be okay. And so that's what I'm starting now. This year I'm like, I have got to get myself on check. And that's why I got my doctor's appointment. I got my labs ran. I'm going to go to the OBGYN. I'm going to get my teeth and my glasses, like all these things that I'm getting taken care of. And that's just basic self-care that I should have been keeping up with as an adult, you know?
yeah. I mean, you're preaching to the choir, dude. I found myself emaciated. I mean, I'm diagnosed with an eating disorder too. So that
Oh,
was
really?
something that like I was diagnosed with anorexia in treatment. So that was a whole nother thing. I didn't even pay any mind to that. I was like, bro, I'm an addict. What are you saying? I'm anorexic? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, you know what I mean? I don't
Because
eat because
you weren't feeding yourself at all.
no,
Did
no.
you do it because you were wanting to be skinny, or were you doing it because you were just not caring?
Well, that's the thing is that I thought it was just because I didn't care, but then I realized that I had severe self image issues and that they were distorted, and so I basically had like this form of like uh, dysmorphia, I guess is what you describe it, to where I felt like I looked so terrible, and and then other people would objectively tell me like, and that's something that, like I said, I only really started acknowledging that at 4 years after hitting a wall in my own recovery. And so that's my whole point in this, is not to be dark or like, I'm just saying we need to understand that like it's amazing to get stable when it comes to like the basic stuff in recovery, but this other stuff is so important. It's part of it. But
Yeah.
like I said, I just was so obsessed with, I meet with my sponsor every single Sunday. I go to a meeting every single day. I've worked the steps 3 times without relapsing. Like I'm sponsoring people. I'm being of service. I'm doing H&Is. I'm going to rehabs. I'm going to prison and talking. Like I was just like, and there was
Yeah.
no like, did you drink water? you know,
Right.
it's like,
Yeah. I know
no,
what you're
I
talking
mean,
about. That I
you
totally get
know,
it. That's what I've been struggling with, and now I'm trying to get myself on back on track, because if I can just get myself back on track with all these, like with my health and everything, I just know that'll make me feel so much better, because I feel like I have my sobriety and my health all better. You know what I mean?
yes, yeah, no, it's a transformative place. And Nicole, I mean, I can tell you that now as someone that I would view myself to be on the other side of that. I'm not saying that I don't have more to do and that I won't have another experience where I have to double down on some other things, but it's like it shows that you're on the right track. I'm sorry. That's all. And it's concerning though, because for our son, like the experience of it is concerning, is all I'm saying. Like I literally was like, how did I get to this place? How did I get to this place? I've done so much work and I am in this place to where I feel like how did I get here basically? And it luckily I was stable with my recovery stuff, so I was like, I'm not going to use, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't feel happy and I feel like I'm having a really hard time. And so, it's not about being perfect when it comes to this. And like, that's why I appreciate people who are authentic about this process. And you know what I mean? It's like there's not a ounce of BS when it comes to you and your content and like, you know what I mean? So it's like you have my support 100%. You can like, as you know, you can hit me up anytime. I I'm not gonna lie, I have to hop off because I need to make dinner, but
Go make dinner and
the
do your self-care.
yeah, but I love talking to you. I'll let you know about the clubhouse, and I might come in and listen to one of yours on a Monday. But I'm trying to get together this TikTok alternative recovery clubhouse. I would love for you
Okay,
to join.
I'll be there, okay?
All right, awesome.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hey, that was a good live. Did y'all like that? So, an affirmation is like words that positive things that you say to yourself, okay? So, Ashley, it can be like this. You wake up in the morning, get yourself a tube of lipstick or a dry erase marker and write on your mirror, I am beautiful. I am loved. I am smart. All these things that you can build yourself up with, okay? Yeah, those are affirmations. Excuse me. One of the affirmations that I've always told myself was, I am a beautiful child of God. I am worthy. I am loved. I am recovering. You know what I'm saying? And those are things that help me to build myself up. So I really liked having him on. So I know that a lot of you guys might not be at this point, but I know for me, and I see that McCauley's going through it, and so is Chauncey from Live, Laugh, Naloxone. We're all going through this phase, or we were just coming out of this thing where we have been questioning all the things that we learned in the program that we were in. So, like, I was in Alcoholics Anonymous for like 4 years, 5 years of my sobriety. And when I came to TikTok, I started learning about harm reduction and learning that there was so many other forms of recovery that I didn't know about. I had only been taught abstinence. And if you were not abstinence, then that wasn't recovery. And so coming to TikTok and meeting so many people that are recovering different pathways, like Cali Sober. I didn't know that there was actually people who use medical marijuana in their recovery. You know, like I was oblivious to all these things. So I thought that was really fucking cool. But anyway, what do y'all want to talk about? Because I don't want to get off yet. I'm having a good night. I did see some questions that you guys had, so let's get those questions. Anthony, did you have some questions? I think I saw you have questions. Oh, why do I take Lexapro? Lexapro is prescribed to me for my anxiety. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the chat. And like, so now that I'm in recovery, I don't like Lexapro. No, I wish I had never gotten on it. It doesn't really help me. I really like Wellbutrin for my depression, but I wish there was. I don't like Lexapro. Okay, come on in, Ashley. Ask me anything, baby girl. Just drop your questions. I have a lot of questions, like where to start. Like where to start in getting sober. Honey, where you can start is just by being willing. Being willing to step your foot in the door and come hang out with us. That's the first step to sobriety. Okay? And you know what the second step is? Asking for help. Hey, I'm willing to get help. Now I just need to ask for it. You know what I mean? And not being ashamed and not being embarrassed. You know, because there's nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody in here, we're all here because we all struggled, you know, whether you struggle with drug addiction, food addiction, gambling addiction, sex addiction, it could be any kind of addiction. I struggle with addictions to food also. I have a binge eating disorder. So I totally understand. Like, I've been through everything you can imagine. I've been RAPE'd. I have been sexually molested when I was younger by some guy that was my grandma's worker. I've had horrible, tragic things happen to me in my addiction and everything. So yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of. When I was talking about my son earlier,
when I tell you guys this, like, I am so aware of the harm that I caused, and it breaks my heart every single day. Every single day that I think about it. You know what I mean? I don't have an addiction, but I have mental health, but I still come. Oh, I love you too, Josh. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my content. And you know what? I should probably start talking more about my mental health too. I think I might do that. I think I might add some videos on my TikTok about my mental health. So for those of you guys that don't know, I am actually trying to actively seek out my mental health diagnosis. Okay. I've never been formally diagnosed with anything except for depression and generalized anxiety disorder. Hey, Brooklyn. My psychiatrist just put me on meds yesterday, so I'm starting this journey now. Hey, that's awesome, girl. Good job, Lisa. Yes. So the pain that I put I think about that every day, and what tortures me is the unknown and being worried about, is my son going to be okay when he gets older? And if he's not, that's my fault, Hey, Tori, I'll put it up on my YouTube channel, okay? Don't worry, I'll put it up tonight. It'll be up tonight. Yeah, and listen to me. It takes some getting used to being sober, okay? I'm not brave enough to make content. I've been on subs for 7 years now. Hey, Lisa, it's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I totally am supporting you, and I'm proud of you, girl. Here's the thing, you guys. I want to tell every single one of you guys this, okay? You don't have to be brave, okay? You have no idea how much just sharing that you've been on Suboxone will help somebody that's in this chat right now. I used to use a lot too, and know one of my diagnoses is adjustment disorder. Especially in recovery, I find myself becoming addicted to other things like shopping. Carly Ann, that is a huge, huge thing that a lot of us, okay, go through. Yeah, but you can't live in the past, Nicole. Reality is now, and just do your best to be sober. You're right. Carly Ann, I want to talk to you about shopping addiction. So when I first of all, when I was in my active addiction, I struggled with shopping addiction because when I was 18 years old, I got a whole buttload of credit cards, okay? I got a bunch of credit cards, and I was fucking making mad money. I was waiting tables and bartending and just fucking spending mad money on those credit cards. But when I got sober, I wasn't having that dopamine hit anymore. Do y'all know what I mean? That like high. So what would happen, we're fixing to do it right now. What would happen is I would get online and I would go shopping, which I need to go shopping right now. So come on. I really do need to get my favorite lip gloss, okay? Oh, it's not. And just so you guys know, like while I have all y'all here, we're going to talk about shopping addiction. So just stay in here. Shopping addiction is where you're doing this shopping addiction and it's causing you harm. Like, that your budget, you're going over your budget and stuff like that. That's when it's, causing a problem and you're spending money just to feel that good feeling. Oh, hey, Effie, and if you can get a good deal, honey, let me just tell you that can really be addicting. And I actually know several women who get addicted to couponing and shopping. But anyway, I do want to go on and grab some stuff while we talk here. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to tell y'all. Everybody that's in here, if you enjoy my little meetings that we have here and you are interested in joining my membership on YouTube, I would love to have you, okay? It's a way that you can support me. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's $5.99 a month, and it's on my YouTube channel. You click the link in my bio and go to the Wednesday members only box. You'll see it in my bio. You don't have to if you don't want to, but while I had all you guys here, I was going to ask you guys if you want to. It's just a way to support me and my channel. Like I said, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you don't have to. But anyway, let's go. I got an addiction to shoplifting for a while in my recovery and relapse. Brooklyn, same. I used to be addicted to shoplifting. What is it? I'll show you right now. Let's go to my YouTube channel.
So what it is every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will go live, and it's a private live, okay? So it's only my people that are in my members only group. So it's like 10 of us, right? And it's a live stream to where you guys can join. And so I don't like to say it costs money, but what happens is you donate that, or you do the $5.99 subscription on my YouTube channel, and that gives you access to those members only live streams. You don't have to if you don't want to. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, because I'm not, trying to be like that. I see a lot of other people do this, talk about things like this, but if you want to join my members only, what you need to do, Anthony, is click the link in my bio, and it'll take you to my little beacons page. You'll see my little picture, and then you go down and you'll see the boxes, and you'll see one box that says, I'll show you right now. You'll see one box that says Wednesday night meeting. Let me show you. I'll literally show you right now. Hey, Mallory, what's up, girl? I know you guys, if y'all follow Trashly Anonymous, it's kind of like having that Sofa Dog channel, but it's on YouTube. It's a members only YouTube channel thing. Okay, so you go to my TikTok account, okay? And like I said, you don't have to join if you don't want to. It's only those of you guys that want to join. Okay, so here's my TikTok account. See? You go to this little link right there, and you click it, and it's going to say you're about to open Beacons. So you open it anyway. Okay, so this is it. This is my beacon. So all these little boxes, you go down, and it says I have a recovery journal on there. I have Rewired, A Bold New Approach to Addiction. That's a book. It's really good. And then the third one down is the members only Wednesday meeting. Okay, you click it, and then it says join this channel, okay? And you just join. You don't have to join the $7.99 or the $19.99. All you got to do is join the $5.99 one, and then on Wednesday you will have access to the members only live. So on Wednesday, you'll come to the community tab right here, and I will have posted a link to the live, and it will only be my members. Okay. So what we do, look at me, my ass crying. I was crying my eyes out. What we do when we go live with members only is I put a link in the chat, and I give you guys the opportunity for y'all to come up and talk about what you're going through. Now, don't get me wrong. If you don't want to talk about anything, honey, I can talk the whole time. You know how I am. I love to talk. But it's a privacy thing. It's private. So it's not like a bunch of people coming in from everywhere. The only people that have access to it are the members. But it's a way to support me, straight up. I for the longest time, when I first started doing social media, I felt so guilty about like doing anything that cost, but as I kept doing social media, and hold on a second. As I kept doing social media, I started getting to a point where I had so many people that I was trying to help, right? And so it would get to the point where we would have 40 people in a live stream, and maybe 5 of those people, right? Maybe 5 of those people really, really wanted to like connect with me and be able to talk and be, together in a more private setting. And so I prayed about it. It took me about 3 to 3.5 years before I finally decided to make a Patreon or a, membership thing. And I prayed about it, and I I said, I'm only going to do this if I can do it where I can make it affordable to where other people can join, right? No, I think, Donna, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let my Patreon phase itself out, because there are a couple people in there that are just in there because they support me, but I'm going to let it phase itself out. And as those people leave, then I'm just going to shift it all over to my YouTube channel. But I already have the members live reminder up on I'm putting it up right now for those of you guys that are going to come. see y'all. But it's hard to make the choice because, you know, there's a lot of people online that say stuff like, that are mean. You know, they say stuff like, you just want money or something like that. And it's like, if you think that $5.99 is fucking making me all this money, honey, you got another thing coming. Because I literally spend so much time on this app. You know what I mean? And all of you guys are more than welcome to join, and that anybody is. If you don't feel comfortable joining my that because you don't want to have to pay anything, then I have a free option for you. Every Monday night at 6 p.m. we have a meeting on Clubhouse, okay? Every Monday night, okay? And so Clubhouse is an app. You can download it on your phone. Right there it says Clubhouse. You download that app on your phone, and when you go to the app, you'll find me, okay? And then I have my own room. I'll show y'all. Here it is. Discovering Matt with Nicole. That's my room. Okay? You'll see my room. And then at 6 p.m. I'll turn the room on and y'all can all come in there. It's really cool. You'll like it. So those are two options. And then I also do these live streams in the evening time. So I do a lot more things that don't cost than I do that do cost. You know what I mean? How are you doing with the Dino one? Dino, what are you talking about? Yeah, totally. I would love for you guys to come over and join. I was sharing with them about our Clubhouse meeting on Mondays at 6 and my my members only meeting on Wednesdays on my YouTube channel. So all of you guys are invited to join either one of those, okay? And then of course y'all can join the one that we're doing right now, okay? So this is what I want to do now, okay? Now that we're sitting here, now let's go and find us a meditation that we can read that'll go along with what we're doing tonight, okay? So come on in here. Let me get it going. I love doing meditations for the day, okay? So... Oh, no, we just did my skincare earlier. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, Chameleon. What's your next question, Ashley? Okay, here we go. Let's do, today is the 14th. Okay, are y'all ready? Okay, here we go. A keystone is the wedge-shaped piece at the highest part of an arc that looks like the other pieces in place. The other pieces are step 1, 2, 4 through 12. Oh, this is a 12-step thing. Hold on, I don't want to do 12-step 1. You can use your phone for the YouTube. You can use your phone for both of them, baby. For both of them. Yeah, we did my skincare earlier. I'm sorry, those of you guys that are coming in here and going, what the heezy for sheezy? If you have an iPhone, well, you can do it with an iPhone or an Android. Just click the link in my bio, and like I said, it'll take you to the third box. Says Wednesday members only meeting. Okay, here we go. Thought for the day. Y'all ready? Can I get well? If I mean, can I ever drink normally again? The answer is no. Y'all listen up, okay? Can I get well? Oh. What the hell? Sorry, y'all. I totally messed this up. Oh my gosh. Why is my face like that? Help me. Why the hell? Oh my God, you guys. There we go. I was supposed to say hello. Can I get well? If you mean, can I ever drink normally again? The answer is no. But if I mean, can I stay sober? The answer is definitely yes. I can get well by turning my drink problem over to a power greater than myself, that divine principle in the universe. And by asking that power each morning to give me strength to stay sober for the next 24 hours. I know from experience of thousands of people that if I honestly want to get well, I can get well. So, What do you guys say? Can I get well? Now, do you guys feel like, as people that are in recovery, whatever your drug of choice was, if you were a meth addict, I want you to ask yourself this: can I ever do meth successfully ever again? If you are an alcoholic, I want you to ask yourself, can I ever drink successfully ever again? Okay? And I really want you to ask yourself this and think about it. Because if you think in your mind that you can drink successfully without having any repercussions, I want to hear about it. And now let me tell you this. There is a guy here on TikTok who has a one-shot method. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? And he says, let's find what he says. I don't think I can either, y'all. I think picking up and using my drug of choice, methamphetamine, alcohol, benzos, any of those things would be detrimental to me and could take me back down through there. You know what I mean? So, Carly Ann, what's happening is you're breaking up with your DOC. Okay, so I want you all to think about it like this. Your drug of choice was like your significant other. Okay, you loved it. All right, you had it for all those years. Yeah, chameleon, exactly. You had it for all those years, and all those years that you had it. You could depend on it, right? When you needed your booze, it was there, right? When you needed your meth, you could get it. Well, now we have to depend on, our coping skills and stuff. Sorry, this fucking thing's driving me crazy. We have to depend on our coping skills. And so it's totally like breaking up with our boyfriends or our girlfriends. And we go through a stage of mourning. Okay? We're all mourning. If you're in early recovery, a 6 months to a year of sobriety, you're going through the mourning stage. You're mourning your drug of choice. That's okay, honey. I was the same way too. Some days I still have a little mourning. You know why? Because I think about, damn, when I was on meth, I had so much energy. But I also think about, damn, when I was on meth, I was hallucinating all the time. And I couldn't do shit because I was fucking stuck. You know what I mean? People think if you're in recovery, you are better, but we will always be addicts. Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing, you guys. Just because we get sober from drugs and alcohol doesn't mean we don't struggle with other things in our lives. You know what I mean? Now, some people are addicts and don't have a problem with alcohol. Some people are both, and some people are just alcoholics. For me, I was an addict and an alcoholic. If I could drink, I would drink to get drunk, and that's the only reason why I would drink. There's no reason to me other than that to get drunk. Okay, y'all did good on that one. Next one, here we go. Persevere in all that your higher power's guidance moves you to do. Persevere in all that your higher power's guidance moves you to do. The persistent carrying out of what seems right and good will bring you to that place where you would be. If you look back over God's guidance, you will see that His leading has been very gradual, and that only as you have carried out His wishes as far as you can understand them, has He been able to give you more clear and definite leading. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may persevere in doing what seems right. I pray that I may carry out my higher power's leading as far as I can understand it. So persevere, pushing forward, pushing through, right? And let me just tell you guys this. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. I want every one of you guys to know that. I just read the thing because it says God on it. But I'm the kind of person that has my higher power is like everything. My higher power is the universe. My higher power is nature. My higher power is all knowing and all telling. And it's been watching over me ever since I was born. You know what I mean? So, just so y'all know that. I struggle with getting out of bed too. I also would binge eat so much on substances. I still, Brooklyn, I still struggle with binge eating, and that's one of the things that has been really hard for me in my sobriety, because I beat myself up because of all the weight that I've gained in my sobriety. That is probably one of the hardest things that I go through every day, is the fact that I've gained so much weight, and I have such a huge shame around it because of the way the world is and society is. Society views beauty as being skinny, you know? And so when you look at somebody like me, I don't look beautiful because I'm not skinny, you know? Um, some people, of course there's some people out there that like big girls, Um, but that's what I struggle with. I struggle with really bad low self-esteem because of my weight. I started binge eating. I've always struggled with binge eating ever since I was a young girl. When I was really young, my dad used to put a lock on our refrigerator so me and my sisters couldn't get into it. That's terrible. Come on now. And by um, putting that pressure on me, and locking the fucking refrigerator made me feel so ashamed. But I had a really bad binge eating disorder. Okay. Come on in, y'all. I was obese so young my dad would do it. Like, yep, that's what was wrong with me. I was obese at a young age, and I was chunky. I wouldn't say I was obese. I was chunky. What the fuck, dude? Oh, God. I'm trying to find something to listen to, y'all. Oh, Chameleon, I'm so sorry, baby. That's hard. Sure, I can answer questions, baby. What you got? Talk to me. I'll answer anything you need to talk about. Eating disorders and addiction, I feel like they go hand in hand. So many people who have addictions have eating disorders. Hold on now. Yes, food does give us comfort. What was your question, honey? I think one of y'all had a question. 258. What's your opinion on the Sublocade monthly shot? Have you tried it? I haven't personally tried it, but I have friends who have, and I think it's amazing. I believe that if you are on subs and you're wanting to get lower, you're wanting to eventually get off, okay? Sublocade is amazing. Really, Tori? Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I really am. That's hard. Yeah, Blunts is on it. Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, Mick, a lot of people are getting on the Sublocade shot, and they're telling me that they took it about 5 or 6 times, and then they stopped taking it, and they didn't even go through withdrawals coming off of it. So, I mean, that is awesome, you know? Yeah. I'm always here to answer questions, you guys. I have no problem. So what it is it's a once a month buprenorphine injection, and it's for people that are struggling with opiate use disorder. What they do is they put us on subs, and we stay on subs for like a month or two, and then they can transition you to the Sublocade shot. So I'm so glad I came on tonight, you guys. Like, I really had a good time hanging out with y'all tonight. I really did. Oh, honey, I can totally understand feeling like that. I totally understand. Valerie, did you love it? I mean, yeah, Valerie, did you love? I felt like we had a great freaking live tonight, y'all. And just so you guys know that McCauley, that's his name, McCauley Sexton, and his TikTok channel is called Sexton Sobriety. Let me check just to make sure. But y'all should go give him a follow, okay? We're going to stay on for just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to go to bed. Sobriety. Yeah, Sexton Sobriety. We had a banging live tonight. It was fun, y'all. I had a good time. Heck yeah. I live in Arkansas. Oh. I, I know, Dawn, it's crazy, right? Y'all are amazing. Melbourne. Indiana. My channel is Discovering Nicole. The link to it is in my bio, Anthony. Go to my bio and it'll take you right to it. All of the information you need is in my bio. There's Diana, you guys. Diana's also on Sublocade. We were talking about you earlier, Diana. We were talking about Sublocade. And we were also talking about you in the other meeting that we had on Whatchamajigger Clubhouse. Do I have any advice for a couple trying to stay together once we have gotten sober? Sierra, you came to the right place, honey. Because guess what? Guess what, Sierra? I'm sober, and so is my husband. So you came to the right place. Me and my husband got sober together. Okay? We got sober in 2015. I know. I saw that, Diana. We got sober. Is your husband okay? We got sober together in 2015, and I will tell you this much. You have to let your husband have his own program, and you have to have your own program. So what you do for your sobriety might not be the same as what he does for his sobriety. But as long as y'all are both on the same page, and y'all both want to stay sober, you can make it work. You can do anything you put your mind to. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin, it didn't show it, sweetheart. It's not showing your comment. Me and my husband, we wanted to be sober. We had my son, our love for my son in common, and that's what brought us together. And so it was a no-brainer. Now, What are you in trouble for, girl? What happened? Hey, Nicole, what's up, girl? What do you mean you're in trouble? You gotta be more specific. What do you mean you're in trouble? But Sierra, if you guys are both serious about staying sober, you can do it. I promise you. Been there, done that, sister. I wish it was. What's going on, girl? You gonna tell us what's happening? I said I am in trouble, and I don't know what to do. Hey, talking to him for 2 months, he pops back up, and now I'm talking to someone else. Is this about a boy, girl? I thought she was in trouble with drugs. Well, you're going to have to make a choice, honey. You're going to have to make a choice. Does anyone know of any recovery in Indiana? Yes, girl, there are Chameleon, there are so many awesome recovery people in here on this app that are from Indiana. You're going to have to make a choice, girl. That's what you got to do. You can choose which boy you want to talk to. I swear to God, Caitlin. I swear to God, girl. I thought you were having a drug problem. And you're over here having boy problems. I have some lotion on my fucking arm. Or just be a player, right? Or just be a player like Brooklyn's. And just talk to both of them. Oh, there's a lot of recovery in Ohio, too, Sierra. Some of the biggest creators on here are from Ohio and in recovery. But I know that what you mean. Me and my husband, we did a lot of, stuff in our active addiction that hurt each other. But we love each other, and we have gotten through all of that. And I'm telling you, you and your husband can do the same. If you guys really love each other, you can get through it. So, which one treats her the best? Yeah, exactly. I was scared for her too. Oh, cool, Anthony. Okay, Anthony, on Wednesday night, you'll be there with us on Wednesday night. I'm so excited. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the group. It's a good group of people too. What should we talk? You know what, Anthony? I'm gonna let you choose what we talk about. So I'm gonna follow you real fast. Send me a DM on here, and I want you to choose what we're gonna talk about on Wednesday since you're the new one. Okay? So whatever topic you pick, we'll talk about it. I have a friend and I think she is using. Okay, Nicole, have you talked to her, girl? So, like, when you have a friend that is struggling and you think they might be using, okay, so number one, don't go and accuse them. Anytime, man. Don't accuse them, okay? Don't say, I know you're using. I know you're getting high, okay? Go to that person, sit down with that person and let them know that you love them and that you're scared for them, that you're concerned, and that you want to make sure that they're okay, and let them know that if there's anything that they're struggling with, that they can talk to you about it no matter what. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times what will happen is when we are when we love somebody that struggles with addiction is, we will automatically just go to them and accuse them of being high, and we don't know for sure. You know what I mean? And listen, even if you do know for sure, always go to them open-hearted, open-minded, non-judgment, okay? I want you to walk over to them, and I want you got to think about this, okay? When you're going to somebody and they are feeling, and they're doing something like that, they're already in defense mode, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make them feel as little defensiveness as we need to as we can. Okay, we don't want them to have a reason to say, "No, I'm not." We don't want to give them a reason to close up their arms and not. We want them to be open. So we're going to go to them openly, okay? And sit down. Hey, Ashley, I love you so much. You are so special to me, and we have been friends for 17 years. And I want you to know that, if you ever were struggling with anything, that you could talk to me. And maybe even open up and say, I've been struggling with some things lately. And say, I've been struggling with feeling like I'm not good enough. And maybe share something that you're really, really insecure and you're struggling with, to open yourself up and to show them that vulnerability and show them that you're willing to get vulnerable with them so they can trust you and get vulnerable with you back. Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you tell them one of your secrets and then they'll be more likely to tell you their secret. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, I just, I just really like helping people a lot. And I get a lot of people that call me on the phone when they're struggling, and I have to talk to them when they're at their lowest points in their life. And so I try to be a really, really open-minded and very open-hearted person. You know? Yeah. Yes, Nicole, yes. Because think about it. When you open yourself up vulnerably to somebody else, that makes, I know for me, it makes me feel more like I can trust them. Like, wow, they've just told me something that they're going through. So now, if I'm ever going through something, I can definitely tell them. Do you know what I mean? It's hard work, but I love helping people. So, and I think that every single one of us, you guys, we have something to offer. And even when you don't feel good enough, like I have not felt good enough for years, and I finally am finding myself. Hey, Nicole, I understand. You're a good friend if you love her. You know what I'm saying? You're a good friend. And that's the hardest thing whenever you have somebody that you really, really care about, because you're afraid. Okay, so I want you to also realize this, okay? Fear. Fear drives us to do a lot of things, okay? For instance, when my husband relapsed in 2020, my fear was that he was going to overdose and die, and that my son would have to go through life not having his father. And that fear literally ate me alive. It literally pushed me over the edge every single day. Okay? So if you have a fear, and voice that to that person, let them know that you care about them so much that you're fearful, that you feel this in your heart for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think that helps a lot too. That's good, Brooklyn. That's really good. And that's what we should all be doing. Fear for me, honey, listen to me. It was the driving force that pushed me um, to my husband when he was struggling, because it was making me worry every single day. Every single day I was afraid that it was gonna be his last day. He was gonna overdose and die. You know what I mean? But I will tell you this. But be careful also, because what can happen is for me, I got too overbearing, right? I was like constantly worried, constantly talking to my husband about it. He's doing good now. He's been sober for over a year. He got sober December 21st of 2020. But I was overbearing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was smothering him. So I had to learn how to pull back. What was your biggest fear of getting sober when you were using? Honestly, my addiction was so bad that I mean, if I was scared of anything getting oh, I know. This was my biggest fear. Biggest fear. I was afraid that me and my husband were both going to get sober and he was going to fall out of love with me. Because I had heard so many stories from other people in recovery who told me that, they saw couples get sober and it never worked out, or the couples got sober and one of the other ones fell out of love with the other person. And that was one of my biggest fears, that my husband wasn't going to love me anymore. He wasn't going to be attracted to me anymore. Nicole, you'll be okay, girl. You sound like a very caring friend, and just because of that, you're going to be all right. I'm terrifying. It's crazy. Yeah, Sierra. I will tell you this, Sierra. Everything that I thought would happen with my husband, I thought that he would fall out of love with me. I thought that we would. It did not. Yes, our relationship is totally different than when we were in active addiction, but it's different in a good way. Like, my husband takes care of my family now, and I can depend on him. When we were in active addiction, we couldn't depend on each other. Now I trust him and I can depend on him, and I know he's going to do what he tells me he's going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I finally feel like I don't have to worry about him going and getting fucked up behind my back. You know what I'm saying? And, but the part about falling out of love with me, I just thought he was going to get sober and just not be in love with me anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I think that happens to some people because when they get sober, they become just totally two different people. But me and my husband we're pretty much the same person we were in active addiction. We're just not unstable. Like, we loved each other from the bottom of our hearts. We were just unstable mentally, Absolutely. It is so hard to rebuild that trust. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, you guys, if you're in a relationship and you're getting sober, you and your significant other are getting sober, talking about what you're feeling, talking, communicate. We have our only child together and we used for the first year of her life. Sierra, guess what? Me and my husband have our only child together, Nathaniel, and we both used the first year of his life. So I used while I was pregnant, and my husband and I had our son taken away from us. And so that eats me alive every single day that I lost my son because of my addiction. And I'm telling you, I thought that my husband was going to hate me and not forgive me. But my husband has been one of my biggest cheerleaders. He always tells me, you're an amazing mother. Nathaniel loves you, because I'm always beating myself up. You know what I mean? I'm always beating myself up. Well, guess what, Ashley, girl? You're not alone. That's why you're hanging out with us tonight. Thanks, Nicole. I appreciate that. It's hard. The pills they gave me after my C-section is what started my entire addiction. Oh, man. That happens to a lot of people, Sierra. Pain pills. Yes, I'm definitely a different person now. When I was in my active addiction, you guys, there's no way I would sit here for 2 hours and try to help people and share about recovery, or I was never doing anything for anyone else except for myself. Me and my husband were both just out. We were a couple, so it was like we were out for ourselves because we came as a package deal, It does. It does heal. Hey, Mike, what's up, man? It heals me to share about, what I struggled with and what I did. And I know a lot of people, some people get upset with me because I share, like, really authentically. I just share what I went through and how I was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It was all about us, yes. And we were like we were like a tornado going through life, you know? Take, 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 take. And so that's what I was telling you guys when we had McCauley on. Like, I had to make amends to my family through my living amends. You know what I mean? I had to sit there and show my mom and dad that I was different, because they had heard me say it a million times. They had heard me say, "Oh, I'm sober now." Do you know how many times I went to my parents, told them I was sober, and I changed my life? You know what I mean? And so when I finally, stopped talking about it and I started being about it, and that's what happened. That's what happens when you finally get sober for real. You stop talking about it and you start being about it. You know? I love sharing, because when I share, like I have recently on this account, I'll show y'all. When I talk to you guys and I'm coming from the heart, y'all relate to that shit. And so I was an intravenous methamphetamine addict for over 15 years. During those 15 years, that right there, you guys have hit that video so many times. There's over 600 comments on it. And it's all people saying, we've been through the same thing. We know how you feel. We feel that way too. I haven't had any relapses since I got sober in 2015. But when I got sober in 2010, after getting out of prison, I stayed sober for 9 months and then I relapsed. And I stayed out till 2015. I try to speak clearly and speak my heart. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I hope that helps you guys. Hey, what's up, Mason? How you doing, honey? I just appreciate you guys for supporting me all together. And like I said, if y'all want to come and hang out with us on Monday nights on our clubhouse meeting, or if you want to join my membership, you can join my membership. The link is in my bio. It says Wednesday members only. Did I go to any rehab? Sorry if I'm being nosy. No, baby, you're fine, honey. I went to treatment 6 times. The first time I went to treatment, I was on my parents' insurance still, and I went to treatment at a place called Quapaw House Incorporated, and I was addicted to meth and hydrocodone and benzos at the time. I went to treatment and I did really well, and I came out, got a sponsor, and I stayed sober for 6 months, and then I relapsed. Then I got put on probation because I caught a felony charge for possession of methamphetamine after I started shooting up. Once I started shooting up, then I went to treatment at a place called South Arkansas Substance Abuse. And I relapsed literally 2 days after I got out of treatment. Then I went to RCA here in Little Rock 3 times. And then my last treatment center I went to was Oasis. Hey, Jeffrey, I went to Oasis and I did really, really well in Oasis, and that's how I got sober. I got sober through that and being on Suboxone. I got on MAT. Hey, that's cool, Mason. Thank you for coming in. Oasis was amazing, dude. Are you from Arkansas, Anthony? Oasis was legit. I'll show y'all a picture of it. Okay, so let me just explain something to y'all. When I went to Oasis, I had state insurance, okay? So it wasn't like really great insurance, but they covered this treatment center, okay? And so that was one of the waterfalls on one of the hiking things. It's beautiful there. Let me show y'all. That's the front of the whole building. And then we had cabins, okay? Like log cabins. And there was 2 people to each cabin. It was beautiful, y'all. It was like a vacation. We had a lake that we could go fishing in, and we had the best time. We had the best time. But I had state insurance, and my state insurance paid for it. So I was really fucking excited about that. And y'all have to understand, I had never been to a nice treatment center like that. I had always gone to, it's just regular state ran treatment centers. So when I went to that one, I was so excited. I stayed for 30 days. Shoot, I should have stayed longer. Do you have your little boy now? Absolutely, Dolores. I got custody back of my son in 2016. It took me 1 year to get custody back of him. And I've been sober ever since 2015. Got custody of Nate in 2016. And he is going to be 8 years old this July. If you have state-funded insurance, there's ways to get into nice rehabs. Yeah, in the state that I was in, it was no problem. Because the state insurance was, was it Blue Cross Blue Shield? It was either Blue Cross Blue Shield or Qual Choice. It was nice. But anyways, let me show. So the videos where I'm talking about like my experiences with how I feel, you guys really seem to relate to those videos a lot. What other videos would y'all like me to make? I know you guys really, thank you, Dolores. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. It really does. What other stuff would you guys like me to talk about? New visitor. Yeah, at that time it was either that or Qual Choice, but it was Obamacare. Anthony, there's this guy on here that follows all of my accounts, but he hates me. And so he always comments on my accounts and says, what does he say? We see enough of you over here. We don't want to go to YouTube too. I don't even know the guy's name. And then there's this other guy who he comments on all of my accounts and says that he knows that I'm only on Suboxone, but he also knows that I'm taking more. And I'm like, why would I lie? You know what I mean? Like, what is the problem with you people? I have some pretty dedicated haters, I'll tell y'all that. I really, really do. I have some dedicated haters. Oh, really? Is it a PPO insurance, Sierra? Are you trying to go to treatment? Butterfly in the sky. What's up, my name? Yeah, so you should call around. Which state are you in? Did you say Ohio? Yeah. I mean, you could always call around if you want to go into treatment. You could always, it's always a good thing to, try and get as much treatment and care as you can, Oh, honey. I have always tried to be so nice on this app, you guys, but people do not like me. I have been, believe me, I wouldn't lie to y'all. Last year was the roughest year on this app because I was getting bullied so bad. But I'm so grateful that's all over. I'm grateful they're leaving me alone. It was a rough year though. Like honestly, I've never had a problem to where I thought about leaving the internet until last year on this app. And it was just people being so hateful that I just couldn't handle it. It was people just constantly mass reporting me, constantly making videos about me, posting about me all the time. It was out of control, dude. You know? I just don't know where to start to quit as a closet user. Hey, Valerie. Well, what are you, first of all, Valerie, what are you using? What substances are you using? Because that's important, okay? We need to make sure that whatever you're using is safe to come off of without detox, okay? Honestly, Ashley, that's the only thing I can think of. And I don't even like saying that because like some people say, what, but that's the only thing. That's the only thing I can think of because I'm literally just minding my business, posting content that I enjoy and getting connected to my followers, right? My friends, my people, right? My people. Hey, what's up, Dan? Y'all are my people, okay? And so I can't even imagine, like, I would never, in my right mind, in my wildest dreams, go over to somebody else's page and like make fun of them or talk shit to them. But I'm telling you guys, like, for the better half of last year, there was a group of women who solely made videos about me every single day. Every day. It's definitely harder when people don't know I was a functional addict. Yes, because when you come out of that closet, you guys, you pull that towel off of you and you expose yourself, and at first it's really scary. At first you feel afraid and ashamed and embarrassed, but then guess what, Valerie? Then there's so many people that say, "Girl, guess what? I'm going through the same thing. You're not alone. I've been hiding my addiction too. There's nothing to be ashamed of." I was so ashamed to come out and tell my family I was using, but once you're ready to surrender, yep, I have learned that work has many real evils and almost all are human. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, and look at me, I'm not perfect, but a lot of the things that these people were upset with me about was like my content. You know what I mean? Like my content, me telling my stories, saying that my content is triggering and I shouldn't tell my stories. And I know every person in the recovery community on this app tells stories about their active addiction. That's what TikTok is. You know what I mean? It's us doing little trends and then telling stories and shit like that. And so I was being targeted. I was being targeted by certain people. It was every single day, every single live. They're in here right now. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. They're in here right now recording this live stream right now. They still record every one of my live streams. But that's fine. That's fine. Record all they want. My biggest scare is my husband's mom and dad. We're good friends, but I just can't. Well, you don't have to tell them, but you can talk to us about it. You know what I'm saying? It will help you. It was constant. Yes, it was, Paige. Every day. That's true, Dan. That's true. You're such an inspiration to me. Thank you for sharing. Hey, thank you so much, Alexis. I appreciate you. I really do. Yeah, they're literally in here right now. Knowing things others go through in active addiction makes you feel less alone. Exactly. That's the thing, though. We can relate to your stories, and that's what helps. We're not alone. Exactly. And you guys, listen to me. It wasn't because they cared about anyone being triggered or anything like that. It was simply that they fucking hated my guts. And anything I did, they would make it bad. You know what I'm saying? Anything I did, trying to call me a body broker for the better half of last year. And it's like, dude, come on now. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to do better than that. I would actually have to be making some kind of money to be a body broker. Yeah, shout out to the haters. Everybody wave to them. And I was so upset to have to tell him I was using because I was the last one he thought was clean. And you know what? Here's the thing, you guys. And Valerie, you can text me, girl. Let me follow you so you can follow. I'm already following you. You can message me, okay? Don't be embarrassed. I love you guys. Here's my thing. What's it to them, especially if it helps someone? Nikki, I'm telling you, girl, there was no reason for it. No reason. It was just simply because they don't like me. Okay? It wasn't because I was a body broker. It wasn't because I was telling triggering stories. It wasn't because I was causing harm. None of it. It was a personal vendetta against me. That's all. Because I'm one of the most kind, loving, tolerant. I will help anyone for free. Okay? I will help you find treatment all over the United States of America if you need it for not one single red cent. Do you know what I'm saying? And what these people uh, were trying to say is that I was like all about money and that I was taking advantage of people and all these things because I work in recovery and because I work for a company called Self Recovery that has those online treatment courses. And you guys, I'm just being straight up. Like, wouldn't you want me to be able to have a job and get paid? You know, like if I have a job and get paid, that means that there's more opportunities for the next person to come behind me and get a job and get paid, you know? Yeah, it's crazy. And here's the thing, you guys, like even these people who have been like just totally nasty to me and have made videos about me, making fun of my weight, making fun of my teeth, just talking shit about me all through the year, right? I pray for them. I really do. I pray for them. I don't make great money, but I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than I ever have been, you know what I'm saying? And the only time I ever like talk to you guys about money is whenever I invite you guys to, like I said, to join my membership, or if you want to do the self recovery classes, which self recovery is literally taught by a psychiatrist. You know what I mean? Like it's a legit program. It's not like I'm trying to hawk some fake shit. You know what I mean? Yes, and I'll tell you what it is. It's hurt. It's hurt is what it is. And I never used to believe this, but I have to get some more water. If y'all haven't noticed, I'm drinking as much water as I can. I didn't used to really believe this, but it has become more and more true as I have gotten older. Hurt people. Okay? And 99% of these women who make content, you know, to try and hurt me, 99% of them are alone, you know, and miserable. They don't have their kids, they don't have their husbands, they don't have anything. And so they're at home and they're hurting. And so making content about me and trying to hurt me makes them feel better about themselves. And I realize that. And I understand, but it still doesn't make it, it's not an excuse, but I can see why they are like that because they're hurting. You know what I'm saying? But back to the sobriety stuff. You don't have to be ashamed to, if you're a closet user and you're hiding in your little self-made closet, listen to me, okay? We're about to have a Rice Krispie treat too. The best thing that you could do is come out of that closet, because you know what's going to happen when you come out of that closet? Hey, Brandy, what's going to happen when you come out of that closet? You are going to get so much help and support, and so many people are going to be like, girl, it's okay, you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you right now, I used to not want to get help either. I used to not want to talk about what I was struggling with either. In fact, just like me and McCauley were talking about earlier, coming out and talking about what we were going through was the best help that I could ever give myself. Okay, I've been to therapy, I've been to counselors, and some of the best help I've ever gotten was sitting down with other addicts and alcoholics and talking about what we're going through and just bouncing experiences off of each other. You know what I mean? Stabbing them with keys in the, what are you my mother was an addict my whole life and still. Oh, wow. I don't like being violent either. I'm very non-confrontational. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like confrontation. And that's why I try to be kind and nice and have good times here on TikTok. Like, I don't want no confrontation. You know what I mean? I just want to come on here, have fun, talk about recovery. You know? Ooh, look at that cake. I have to go and get, Brooklyn, I'm going to go to a psychiatrist too. Sierra, you were probably, when you were growing up, was your mom abusive or something? Well, Valerie, you know you can always call me about it, okay? And I understand, you guys. Oh, your mom's an addict too? Okay. Well, baby, listen to me, all right? I feel for you, okay? My mom and dad were straight edge, sober people. But I dated a guy. His dad was a drug addict and his mom was a drug addict. And his mom was like a prostitute drug addict. And so he had this huge hatred for women because his mom basically abandoned him and his brother and sister when they were little. And his dad, who is like certifiable crazy, had to take over and start helping, you know, and start raising them. And they had no mom or dad. And so they hated it. He hated women. And so growing up in that cycle of addiction, it creates another addict. And if you don't break that cycle and get sober, then you'll create another, you know what I'm saying? And so by getting sober, you are breaking generational curses. Who do I talk to my problems about? TikTok. When I'm going through something, I call my sponsor, my mom and dad, or I come on here and talk to y'all. But I don't usually have really bad problems, you know what I mean? Just depression. And most of the time, when it's really bad, like today I had a really bad spurt of depression this morning. I came on here, went live for like an hour, cried, laughed, cried some more, and then I felt better. Sure, I talked to doctors. I got my primary care doctor. Just, why are you asking me that? Why are you asking me that? DDW. I'm actually, like, my doctor's finally giving me a referral so I can get a real psychiatrist. I mean, I've had counselors and stuff, but now I'm going to get a real psychiatrist, and I'm really excited about it. I'm going to the doctor's in the morning. Really be good? That's awesome. DDW, you ain't got anything to say now? Why are you asking me specifically if I talk to a doctor? Like, what's the deal with that? I would like to know what your reasoning is behind that. Because that just seems suspicious to me, honey. I've never seen you in my live before and you just come in and say, do I talk to doctors? Like, yeah, I literally had a doctor's appointment a week and a half ago. Like, Yeah. I know it was because I know that's what I'm talking about. Like people who literally don't know me, they probably gathered like 10 minutes of a video where they saw me upset or crying, right? And then they come on here and say, "Do you talk to a doctor?" Okay. You know what I'm saying? I know the deal. Well, I appreciate you for being concerned, but of course I talk to a doctor. I am actually being referred to a psychiatrist. But, you know, there's some people that don't have means to see a doctor. And if they don't have means to see a doctor, coming on and talking to other people and venting and sharing with what they're going through can really be helpful. And like I said, that's one of the main things that helped me before a doctor even thought about helping me, was sitting down with other people who have gone through the same thing I have gone through. I can sit with a doctor and talk all day long, and he don't know what the fuck's going on because he hasn't experienced addiction. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. I went to my doctor literally 2 times in less than 2 weeks. 2 times. And I had to finally ask him to refer me out because he doesn't know how to help me. You know what I'm saying? And so I have gotten more help from you guys and support online than I've ever gotten from any doctor. You know? That's why I'm going to get a psych, Robbie, because that's what I need too, girl. What do they do on your first appointment? Be good. Are you going in person? So you'll get your drug test. Okay, see you later. You'll get your drug test. You'll sit down. They'll ask you questions about your use. They'll probably get you all set up if you have any groups or counseling. You'll get set up for that. Normally what they do is if they dose you, they'll dose you there at the clinic. I know for me, when I first started subs, they dosed me at the clinic to make sure I wasn't going to have any like bad reaction to it. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to be just fine. And I'll tell you this, okay? For me, getting on subs saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Saved my life. And even though I'm telling you guys that I've been struggling a little bit lately, like, it still saved my life, you know? Maybe that girl had seen one of my videos where I was talking about not having energy or something. I don't know. I just feel like when people come in here and they do that, it makes me feel kind of weird, you know? Not yet, Robbie. I'm still on I'm on about 0.25 of a milligram. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but there's like literally people who like watch me and then they like assume things about my mental health and start trying to diagnose me. Like one lady tried to diagnose me with BPD from watching a couple of my videos. So I get a little nervous. I have been to a psych for 25 years and talked to you 3 times. I got more from you than the doc ever. Really, Melody? See what I'm saying? I feel the same way. Okay? Like, I can sit down with you guys. I don't know if I do or not. You know what I'm saying? But how can somebody literally diagnose me with that? It's literally 0.25. So it's like it's a quarter of a milligram, Amy. It's tiny. It's tiny. It's a sliver. And here's the thing. Like, BPD is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? But when somebody's like diagnosing you over the internet because they watch your content and they don't like you, like, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? And I feel like what Melody said, okay? So I get so much support and help. BPD is not bipolar disorder, but borderline personality disorder.
And here I have, like, I present a lot of symptoms online. Like when you guys watch me and you see me when I'm in an emotional state and I'm crying and I'm upset, like of course you're going to go, "Whoa, this girl is unstable." I'm just sharing. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Okay? I wear my heart on my sleeve, and when I'm hurting, I share that I'm hurting, you know? Um I share it because when I'm hurting, I'm just open about that because I know that if I'm open about it, then other people that can help me will be able to help me. And if I can help you guys because I'm hurting, then it'll help you. You know what I mean? Um, and I'm not, I'll tell you this, okay? When people like take my content and they try to harm me with it, that's what makes me not want to share. That's what makes me insecure about myself. That's what makes me, want to go hide out. But I love sharing my life, you know? Oh, Robbie, I'm sorry. I hate that y'all are alone. If you've been on your page before, you'd know you talk to a dog. Yeah, yeah. I've literally went to one, like I said, just recently. Yeah, and they make other accounts. They make other accounts. You guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. Thanks, Swayze. I appreciate you, man. Honestly, all I'm trying to do is share my story and share my life with you guys. And it helps me to be able to share. And so, but I'm being honest with you guys, like I literally I never wanted to get off the internet until last year. You know what I mean? And then half the beginning of this year, it was bad. Yeah, I have access to Dr. B too every single day. Yep. Did you say Cluster B, Brooklyn? How Brooklyn? Where are you from? That's so funny that you said that because there's a lady who is on Facebook who makes horrible posts about me and comments on this one lady's page, and she verbatim diagnosed me with a cluster B personality disorder on Facebook. That's crazy, huh? Do you ever compare yourself to others looks wise? Heck yeah, I do. Absolutely, I do. I will compare myself to other ladies and look at them and I'll think, about my weight, especially because I'll get insecure about that. And I'll say, if I could just lose 10 or 15 more pounds, I would be so much better. You know what I mean? Um, if I could, you know, get my skin to be clearer and less little blemishes like this, I would feel so much better. And of course I do. I struggle with that so much. And I struggle with not feeling like I'm good enough. Absolutely, absolutely. But I'll tell you this. I felt like that more whenever I was in my active addiction than I do now. And so a lot of the driving factors to I was on why I was using drugs. Well, of course, fearful or compulsive behavior. Yeah, I'm compulsive. I think OCD kind of like, but not in a bad way, in a good way. Listen to me. If they're judging you, then you don't need them in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you're losing your hair, shave it. Shave it. And make it look cute without it. You know what I'm saying? If it really, 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 really bothers you, though, you know what they have now, and it's badass, dude. It's literally like a wig for men. Let me show you. It's not like a toupee thing. It's like cool. Um, I saw them here on TikTok. They can literally,
I'm a Pisces. Look at this, okay? Ugh, Robbie, I'm going through the same thing. Look at this, though. Look at that. That looks so good. Well, honey, Brooklyn, I sure hope they diagnose me so I can get my fucking medication, because I need it, honey. I've been trying to get diagnosed for years. I've had 4 psychological evaluations. Ain't never been diagnosed with a personality disorder in my life. The last psychological evaluation I had was in 2017 or 2018. I had like 3 years sober and nothing. No personality disorder. So I guess they're not seeing it. Hopefully they'll see it this time. And then I can get my medication because I need it. I've been trying to get diagnosed for years. Yeah, so don't be embarrassed. Do you know how many women wear wigs now? Um, are you gay? Swayze, are you gay? Anthony, tomorrow morning we are literally going to call the psychiatrist together, y'all. I wasn't too young. I was 32 or 33. So I'm not sure why like I haven't been diagnosed. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to shit on you, Brooklyn, but I'm like not understanding like all these people, you and then some other people have said this too. And I think it's because you guys see the part of me that is dramatic, who is online, who is you're not seeing all of me, the total in me. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to see my drama and my emotions and show and think, oh, she has a personality disorder, but I might not. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know. I don't mind if I do. I'm just saying I don't know. Are you gay too, Josh? Oh yeah. Oh my gay. The gays love me. The gays love me. I love you guys too. I love y'all. Whenever I was I know you guys know this. I've told the story before, but my best friend Jerry, I mean, when I tell you guys this, we were in high school together and we became best friends. Just the moment I saw him, we became best friends. And I literally protected him with all my might. Because when we were growing up, he hadn't came out yet. And we were going through high school and sometimes guys would pick on him. And me and my friend Jessica were like, we would beat anybody that tried to fuck with him. Well, when we graduated high school, we were all outside, you know, at Jessica's house smoking a blunt. And Jerry was like, I need to tell you guys something. And we were like, okay, what? And he's like, I'm gay. And me and Jessica looked at each other and we were like, we know. We know. And he was like, what? And I'm like, Jerry, we know and we love you no matter what. And then recently, my friend Nick that I told you guys about. If you guys are not following Nick's channel, he's sharing his, listen to me, you guys. He's sharing his coming out story. I want y'all to look at it, okay? Oh man, Brooklyn, I'm so sorry, baby. That's tough. That's tough. Bulimia is no joke. I want you guys to go follow him. His account is called Out of Fear Gang, okay? And he's telling his whole coming out story. So far, he has like 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. And when I tell you, I had no idea that he was gay when we became friends. So about 3 or 4 years ago, we became best friends on YouTube. He found me on there. And I'm talking like best friends, okay? Hey, Tanya. He was like, we would call each other, just everything. You know how it is. I had no idea. When I tell you, I had no idea. This man had a whole ass girlfriend. He had the manly man, everything, right? after about 2 or 3 years of being friends, he bought me this brand new camera. And my husband was like, what is going on with this dude? Why is he buying you stuff? And I was like, we're best friends, right? Then the next thing you know, he called me after he relapsed and he was like, I've been living two lives. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm gay. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? Like, I would never judge you. And he was like, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my parents. I had a girlfriend, Nicole. He had a whole ass girlfriend and a fiance, a man fiance. And he was like, what has made it even harder for me to share is that I'm in love with an older man. So he's like, 25, 26, and his fiance is like 50, you know? Oh, Brooklyn, you're just a baby, honey. We love you. We love you, Brooklyn. You stay in here and hang out with us. It's safe here. There's all kinds of freaks over here on the internet. Really, Anthony? Yes, yes. And so he finally told me, and the reason why he was relapsing is because he was so ashamed. It makes me so sick that people that men that love men or women that love women feel so shamed that they can't even be their authentic self because they are worried about being hated or harmed by other people. That makes me sick. It pisses me the fuck off. It makes me mad. Because I know my sister had to go through it. When my sister, Christine, my baby sister, I remember when she was 14 years old and she kissed a girl for the first time. And she liked it. She liked it. But she was Christian. And she was also like really heavy in the youth group. And so she started trying to pray it away, right? And so my sister tried so hard to have boyfriends and pray the gay away from her. And eventually she just finally said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And she finally came out, to me and my sister Michelle. And me and my sister Michelle were like, we know, we love you. We don't care. We don't care. But my sister was so heavy in Christianity, you guys, that she tried so hard to pray to not be gay. And my sister has a beautiful wife, and they have a beautiful home, and they've been together for like a long time. They've been together for as long as me and Neil have been together. And it makes me so angry because I will tell you this. People who are gay are born that way. They are born that way because I truly believe that a person wouldn't put themselves in a position to be judged and ridiculed and hated. My sister was born that way. She came out like that. She was literally like that her whole life. You know what I'm saying? And so there's nothing wrong. I love my gays. I just love them. Anyways, I'm obsessed. Y'all get a whole story with that. But you just don't need to be ashamed, okay? You can literally get one of those hair systems, like I said. Hey, Melody, you need to message me, girl. You hadn't messaged me. Josh, what do you mean did I watch Euphoria? Bitch, I'm obsessed. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Fez is mine. I'm obsessed. I cried, you guys, because of Ash. I cried. Okay? When he fucking... I cried. I cried like my son was dying. I cannot wait for the next season, but they said it's not going to come out till 2024. Did y'all see that? You know what we should do? I love Faye too, Brooklyn. I love Faye too. Faye was a straight up G. When she dropped that glass and said, shh, I was like, yes, 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 yes. I know, Lori, yes. You know what we should do? We should have a Euphoria series marathon on my live stream one night. Hey, Gertrude, tell her I said what's up. Okay, Melody, I love you, girl. I'm gonna message you so we can get on Zoom together, okay? We should have a Euphoria series live stream here on my account, and we can watch it all together, okay? The whole series. I'll set my tripod up, and we can just sit there and eat popcorn and watch the whole damn series. Allison, okay, girl. I'll remember that too. I'm really good about remembering. Me too, Anthony. I don't know if you guys were in my live stream. I'm so happy that I went live tonight. I don't know if you guys were in my live stream earlier today, but my best friend from high school was in my live stream, Leanne. And we were fucking talking about all the shit we did when we were in high school. When I tell you guys, me and this girl, we stayed out all night long, all the time. One night, I'll tell y'all that story real fast. One night we went to a party, right? And on our way to the party, we stopped at Burger King. And we met a girl there that was selling ecstasy. And we were like, yo, we're going to a party. Do you want to come with us? And she was like, yeah. So she got in our car and left her truck there. And she rode with us to the party, right? We get to the party, she gives us the ecstasy, and we take it, and we're like thinking we're going to roll and feel so great, right? Like 20 or 30 minutes later, my friend Leanne is like, that was not ecstasy, because she is like sick, right? And so I looked at her, she looked at me, and I was like, bitch, let's go. And we jumped in her car, and we drove back to that Burger King, and we said, pop, 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 and slashed that hoe's tires flat to the ground. We were so crazy. And then we drove out to Malvern and stayed the night with this guy named Rockport Penny. We were so nuts. And then one time we were so fucked up. We were driving, she was driving her Honda Civic, and it was a dirt road, and she was fishtailing on purpose. Bitch, we flipped that whole car over. We flipped on our roof. Honey, we slashed them bitches like pop, 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 pop. When I tell you, oh my God. And then you know what else happened, you guys? My friend Josh called me the other day, and he said, do you remember that night we threw a brick through that guy's window? I said, what are you talking about? He goes, you don't remember? And I was like, no, refresh my memory. He goes, you were pissed, and you were like, this dude fucking owes me money. Take me to his house right now. I'm throwing a brick through his window. And I said, okay. And you jumped in my Charger, and we drove out there, and you threw a brick smooth through that dude's window. I had no idea. I don't even remember. Like, I'm trying to remember why I was so mad at this person. You know what I mean? Like, a fucking brick? Damn, bitch. My sister was crazy when we were growing up too, y'all. I'm a changed person, y'all. I'm changed. I would never do that now. I mean, look at me. I'm like, I'm a pushover now. You know what I mean? I'm constantly trying to do things for other people now. You know what I mean? Yes. Same. I was the same way. And that girl selling us that fake ecstasy, my friend got really sick from it, you guys. Like, it was really, really scary. I'm a little bit of a pushover sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be too nice, and people will just push me and push me and push me. So, hey, Kimmy, really? Tell her I said what's up. I'm so grateful that you talked to her about me. That's awesome. I know I'm about to go lie down too, y'all. I'm tired. But let's plan out tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. So let me see what we're going to do tomorrow. So I'm going to upload this live stream, you guys. If you didn't get to sit here with us for the whole live, because we've been on for like 3 hours, I'm going to upload this live stream on my YouTube channel. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'm going to wake up and we're going to do our makeup. Okay, so mwah, I love you guys. We're going to wake up at 10 a.m., do our makeup, okay? And then tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central, like we always do, we're going to go live like we did tonight. And we'll talk about, recovery. I'll try to get a guest speaker on to share their story. If any of you guys want to share your story tomorrow, Anthony, Swayze, Josh, if any of y'all want to share your story, hit me up. And you can come on the first half of the live, and share your story. If not, that's okay. I can talk all night long, So I love you guys, all right? Okay, cool. Yeah, good. Yeah, I would love for y'all to come on. But I love you guys, and I'm going to go lay down with Neil and Nate. And just remember, I'll make a live event right now for our 10 a.m. makeup time, okay? So that way y'all won't forget. All right? All right. Love you guys. Good night. Be good. I had a good time with y'all.